Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand for the national anthem, the national song, the school song, and prayer. The national anthem and the national song will be done by Sharvin Nareen, a Form 3 student. The school song is pre-recorded and is a video, and the prayer will be done by Mr. Perry Richardson, our Deputy Principal, Campus B.
Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we adore you and we welcome you into our midst. As we gather here tonight, Father God, we give you thanks for the great minds that are assembled. May you indeed be with them as they present tonight. Give them confidence, courage. May they indeed overcome those belly butterflies. Indeed, Father God, indeed you have equipped our young men and women with visions that we indeed can see Anguilla go from strength to strength. May all that is done tonight, Father God, be done in your name, and may you be glorified. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. Our apologies for the technical glitch just now, but we'll get it right and show the slideshow as well as play the audio again, which should have occurred. At this time, I'm going to welcome our Deputy Principal Curriculum, Mrs. Rebecca Haskins-Charles. She is going to give opening welcome remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Perrin Bradley, Honorable Minister of Social Development and Education, Ms. Deanne Kentish-Rogers, Honorable Minister of Sustainability, Innovation and the Environment, Ms. Quincy Agams-Marie, Honorable Member of the Opposition, Mr. Jose Vancepool, Parliamentary Secretary, Mr. Merrick Richardson, Permanent Secretaries, Chief Education Officer, Mr. Bren Rumney, other education and government officials, Chair of the Board of Governors, Ms. Carencia Rouse, sponsors, judges, principal, teachers, parents, supporters, and teams, good evening. The pleasure is mine this evening to welcome all of you, physical and virtual audience, to the 2023 edition of the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive Schools Business Department's Business Idea Basket, or the BIB for short. This most interesting event has been a feature of the department's Business Week since 2019. It was a most welcomed event then and a highly anticipated one now. I am sure that all gathered are eagerly awaiting the innovative presentations of the 8 teams as they proffer their visions for a redevelopment of the space currently known as Campus A, in the context of a full move to the new site. For many, this will be an emotional exercise. Be ready to see what students who have never known pre-IRMA secondary school have in store for us. Welcome to the teams tonight. PXD, can we give them a round of applause? Fame, I want to just wait. The Difference, the Clovers, Solar City, and Deep End Innovators. I know that you have all worked hard, and I hope that your presentations will be all that you planned them to be. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Thank you, Mrs. Haskins-Charles. I'm now going to invite Mr. Clemvia Hodge, who is the Anguilla Youth Business Fund's chair and our strategic partner. Please give him a hand and give the AYBF a big hand, please.
Good night, everyone. It is a pleasure to once again support such an initiative as this. For us at the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, we pride ourselves as supporters of entrepreneurship within Anguilla. Entrepreneurs are the backbone of our country, but also the world in general. And it's important for us to take such a pathway into careers and life and earning and even development very seriously. So with this, I see some very beautiful displays, and I'm eager to hear all the ideas that you have to offer. One of the things that we must always note is that in entrepreneurship, we solve problems. We find the needs, we find wants that people face, and we produce a solution to them that we can ultimately create an income from. And with this, I'm seeing a lot of solar panels, and I know that Anguilla is moving towards the direction of renewable energy and sustainability. And with that also comes a lot of opportunities for new sectors that you can take on and even be leaders in from this early age and stage. So with that, I'm very proud to be here in this capacity. And from the team at the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, we're excited to know what you have come up with. We look forward to welcoming you to benefit from a lot of the programs that we have available for you to access training and funding and mentorship when the time comes for that. So at this point, I'd like to end my remarks by saying congratulations already, because I'm already seeing great things. All right.
The ALHCS is very grateful for the AYBF, because without them, this would not be possible. Just a little bit of a heads up, they spent to the tune of 15,000 EC dollars last year on this competition, and we are very, very grateful that they have committed to partnering with us. At this time, I'm going to call Mrs. Lois Carbon. She is one of our business department teachers. She focuses on economics, and she's going to give an overview of the ALHCS BIB, and she's going to give a more detailed introduction of our teams. Please welcome her.
Good evening, all. The Albino Lake Lodge Comprehensive School Business Idea Basket, and again, the ALHCS BIB for short. The rationale behind the BIB: Anguilla is growing and developing. Issues relative to the growth of our economy, protection of the environment, infusion of sustainability, and the presentation of our tranquility are presenting themselves simultaneously. Anguilla's bright, youthful minds are generally omitted of the most current national planning and even future planning. The ideas of our young people need to be showcased, as they can inform and trigger national investments that will ensure that Anguilla is ahead of the curve and proactive in addressing societal needs. The purpose, then, is to foster, promote, and bring to practicality youthful creativity and innovation in application to real-life issues in Anguilla. Our participants, the Albino Lake Lodge Comprehensive School business students, are generally allowed to participate. However, in 2023, we opened it up and we invited all other students of the Albino Lake Lodge Comprehensive School to participate. Our strategic partner is the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation. The description of the BIB: students are expected to arrange themselves in groups of 3 to 5. In 2020, when we first began, the topic then was the development of the sandy ground salt pond. In 2020, the topic then was the diversification of Anguilla's economy. And last year's topic was students had to present ideas for a green and tranquil transportation system. This year's topic, the focus: a creative and innovative business idea for the development of the current Campus A site. This is within the context of a full move to the new facility. Each group is tasked with brainstorming for a creative, innovative, out-of-the-box, high-tech solve for the issue that would benefit Anguilla economically, environmentally, socially, and in keeping its beyond extraordinary tagline. Each group researches, prepares, and delivers a presentation on their idea. The presentation should include a physical model, or at least a diagram of the mechanism it is proposing. Each group will have 10 to 12 minutes to present in front of a live and an online audience. The presentation outline: each group's presentation will include 1, the situational overview, 2, the cases reviewed, 3, the pitch, which is the description of the idea's location, layout, logistics, finances, benefits, challenges, and potential investors. And finally, the wrap-up. I will introduce again our teams, but this time I'll let you know who the students are, and you are to stand when you hear your name called, please. So we start with number 1, Jajin Liang, our Kevin. Corey Barrett, please remain standing. Mikhail Gilbert and Tristan Gums. They are the Solar City. Thank you, gentlemen. Team number 2, Shavin Narayan, Javon Richardson, Sage Alfred, Arandi Joseph, Nikhil Chatlani. They are the difference. Thank you. Team number 3, Wendisha Hodge, Benny J. Hunkins, and Matthew Simon. They are PXD. Team number 4, Keenan Lloyd, Shaylin Hodge, Kashana Harrigan, Denari Gums, Janice Jennings, and they are Deep End Innovators. Team number 5, Kishana Edwards, Electa Kiria Adams, Joseph Manaserafin, and Ethan Harrigan, and they are FAME. And FAME is spelled F-H-A-M-E. And our final team, number 6, Carrie Zeng, Michaela Richardson, Kishante Connor Carty, and Shante Maynard, and they are the Clovers. Good luck to all teams. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Garber. It is an honor to serve for the 4th year in this exercise. It is also an honor to have a team of people with us called our judges. So let me introduce them to you as well as give you an overview of what their work will entail tonight. Our judging system is pretty unique. We have, first of all, 3 special awards, which I will go through. Our first award is called the Best Idea to Execute. The Best Idea to Execute. Our judge for that award tonight is none other than our Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Deanne Kentish Rogers. Ms. Rogers is a proud Maroon House past student. And that is all she wants me to say. Our next special award is called Best Presentation of Idea. We're going to do that one online. And so therefore, our audience votes for that one. So Best Idea to Execute is adjudged by Ms. Kentish Rogers, and Best Presentation of Idea. Now, we're asking you to be honest, not because it's your friend or maybe even your child, or your cousin, we want you to practice a little bit of honesty. So whichever team comes up here and delivers the best, did you hear me? Delivers the best. We want you to vote for that team. So we're going to give you, I believe it's going to be on our Facebook site, and we're going to give you that link, and so therefore we want you to go on and vote. At the end of all the presentations, you can go on and vote for the team that in your opinion, who delivered the best. Now, I forgot to give out the prizes. Best idea to execute, the team who wins that award will receive Fitbit watches. They will receive a trip to Prickly Pear, and you will receive a lunch also treated by the Honorable Minister of Education. She will personally treat you to lunch. That's for the best idea to execute. Best presentation of idea, that team who wins that will receive Bluetooth speakers and a lunch, compliments of Silly. Third award is Beyond Extraordinary, and we know that's our tagline for our marketing of our tourism industry. Judging that tonight will be Mr. Kenroy Herbert, and he is an entrepreneur, businessman, and chairman of the Anguilla Tourist Board. Please give Mr. Herbert a hand. It is his first time being here, and so we welcome him. Ms. Kentish Rogers has been here before, and so therefore we are glad to have you back as well. The prize for that award is a technology gadget gift certificate of $100 US, lunch at Sandy Island. Yes, lunch at Sandy Island, and also Mr. Herbert will treat you to a lunch as well if you win that prize. So please give all our best, our sponsors of lunches a hand, please. We want to thank them. Now, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 judges will be judging the places of first, second, and third place. They will have the responsibility to place those teams. Now, creativity, innovation, aesthetically pleasing, economically beneficial, and environmentally friendly are the segments that they will be judging. Each of the 5 have a specific item to judge. Judging creativity is Mrs. Rita Celestine Carty. She is the principal of the ALHCS, and she is a master teacher. Please give her a hand. Creativity is the ability to develop new ideas and discover new ways of looking at problems and opportunities. Very close to that is innovation. Innovation is the ability to apply creative solutions to those problems and opportunities to enhance or enrich people's lives. Judging innovation is the Honorable Minister, Quincia Gomes Marie. Please give her a hand. She is a professional problem solver who believes that the very reason why innovation as a concept exists is because status quos are meant to be broken. Aesthetically pleasing is our next item, and aesthetically pleasing just simply means beautiful to the eyes. Mr. Kevin Archibald is judging that, and he's also here along with Ms. Gomes-Marie for the very first time, so please give them a hand in that regard. Mr. Archibald is the director of K-Sharp Media, who enjoys all things artistic, and he is a professional photographer with a very keen eye for detail. Our next item is economically beneficial. This is the capacity to generate national revenue. And our judge for that this evening is our CEO, our Chief Education Officer, Mr. Bren Romney. Please give him a hand. And that's what we have to say about him. Mr. Romney is our chief. But we went to school. Yes, yes. Yes, A, B, and C. All right. And environmentally friendly is the next one. Kind, not harmful to the environment. And we have another new person on the team. Her name is Ms. Carencia Rouse. Please give her a hand. Carencias, an Island scholar, former Miss Anguilla, Chevenel alumna, and University of Oxford graduate who works at the Department of Natural Resources as the Director of Environment and is the chair of the ALHCS Board of Governors. Now, did we give Ms. Rouse a hand? Please welcome her again. All students will receive certificates. Any team that does not win a prize tonight, we do have a complimentary prize, a couple of them. Calypso Charters will give them a free trip to Sandy Island. We thank Calypso for that. All students participating in the BIB will receive an A grade in lieu of one of their assessments that will show up on their report card. The teams have worked very, very hard, and we believe that this is due. We thank them very much, and this is one way we show our appreciation. For the past 4 years, 2 of our judges have remained the same. They are our CEO and our principal. And we, sadly, would like at this time to have a moment of silence. There's a loss for words when we remember someone who made this specific night come alive. He isn't here with us, but the memories he created with us in the last 3 BIBs were incredible. Let's bow our heads as we in honor of Mr. Calvin Andre Samuel. He was the enthusiastic and learned, environmentally friendly judge for the prior 3 years. Thank you. At this time, what we have come here for, we began the scouting and we had 9 groups. Through a process of, I would call, natural elimination, we have 6 remaining. So with prizes galore and in store, the students will present and the judges will analyze, and I do not envy them, and you and I will ponder and we will wonder. Team number 1, can you please put your hands together for Solar City? Thank you for smiling. It helps them. It helps them to relax.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, one and all. Tonight, we will be presenting to you the idea of Solar City. I know, love the name. First off, we'll start off with our background. Based on our extensive research on the topic of electric vehicle technology and solar panels, we found it out that by 2035, the European Union will be banning the production of gasoline vehicles. Based on this research, we can deduce that other European car brands will also start the production of electric vehicles. And based on those decisions, also car brands around the world will stop producing gasoline cars. But what does all of this mean for Angola? I mean, we're not really part of the European Union. You could say that. So, we suspect that by 2045, that the amount of electric vehicles in Angola will increase to such an exponential rate that it will affect how our power is used. For example, the power that is used to power the valley, our government blocks, our houses, let's say any other economic development building inside of Angola, that power could be used to power the electric cars. But who says we want to take up that power for electric cars? There's such a better way of powering electric vehicles while helping Angola at the same time. How can we do this? This is where our main pitch comes in. Solar City. So our main idea, well, first half we here have our digital model. Our main idea for Solar City is to create a central one-stop shop area in Anguilla where persons can come, drive up with their electric vehicles. They can charge their electric vehicles using our solar-powered charging stations and also enjoy the facilities that are also provided at Solar City. All these facilities are powered by solar energy. So our facilities would include our solar complex. It would include our restaurant, our internet cafe, our gym, cinema, a training facility for our engineers, a studying hall for our students, and a solar farm. Solar City will also incorporate a membership in which persons can come, pay about $35 a month, and it will decrease the price on charging the electric vehicles, decrease the price in our restaurant, and also decrease the price for other areas in Solar City. I hand the mic over to Tristan Gomez.
Our phase 1 for the model for Solar City will include our solar complex and the solar farm, our internet cafe, our 2 solar charging stations, and including our restaurant.
First, to start off, we have our main attraction of Solar City, our solar charging stations. These charging stations, not only do they cost less than for you to put gas in your car. Let's say it's way more money to pay for gallon when it comes to gas than it's to pay for kilowatt for our solar, for our electric vehicles. You could charge your electric vehicle for only $30, and it will charge up to a max charge for 1 hour. I mean, it'll take 1 hour to charge, and you could drive 200 kilometers on this 1 hour. Now, you're wondering what you could do in this 1 hour. So during this 1 hour, you can come to our facilities. Maybe you could get a bite to eat. Maybe you could come to our internet cafe and enjoy our computers. Maybe you want to go for a little workout. Maybe you're getting big and strong, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Y'all get it? So now we have our solar farm and our solar complex. Our solar farm back here, well, I'll start with the solar complex. Our solar complex is a place for us to sell electric vehicles. So at this current moment in time, Angola does not have the most amount of electric vehicles. So for persons who want to get into Solar City but don't have an electric vehicle, we come here and share and sell electric vehicles to you. We also have a solar panel and electric car servicing area. With all these solar panels and all the electric cars that will be going around Angola, we're going to need a place to help and maintain them. We also have a place to showcase how our operation works. And our headquarters would also be on the 3rd floor, and our art and storage for all solar panels and other equipment will be stored on the ground. Here we have pictures of our internet cafe, restaurant, and a playground. Speaking of which, our restaurant, a little self-explanatory. Everybody's going to use somewhere to eat. We're trying to promote more of a healthier lifestyle with Solar City, trying to make Angola into a more healthier country. So we try not to follow the norm of, let's say, sodas, chicken and chips, you know what I'm talking about, and that kind of thing. Then we have our internet cafe. It's a place for persons to come, chill out, and relax. You know, after a hard day of work, maybe a car, it just died. So you come, you park up, you have our solar charging stations, and then you go into the internet cafe, enjoy yourself a little bit, if you know what I mean. Then we have our playground. Even children, even our little babies out here, 6 and 5-year-olds. I know some of you have daughters and sons. And what will they do in Solar City? When you want to charge your vehicle, they can't just sit at home with no parents. They're going to be bored, you know what I'm talking about? So if you have a playground, even they can enjoy themselves. Everybody's going to have a little time to themselves. All right.
So our total budget for phase one is expected to be around 40 million US dollars. This includes the solar charging station, the solar farm, solar complex, restaurant, internet cafe, and money to circulate and maintain for the solar panels and the buildings. And now in terms of the profit, we are looking at roughly 5 million US dollars per year. We did this calculation based on 200 members using the facilities every day. In our number of members increase by about 50% each year, we can break even this 40 million US dollars about 6 to 7 years. Since we aim phase one to be 10 years, we will use our turnover profit to begin phase two.
Here we have phase two.
As you can see here, our phase two will contain our gym, movie theater, and cinema, our study hall, and the training room for our engineers.
Now we have some pictures of our gym, cinema, and study hall. Let me get on here. And let's talk about the gym. So let's go to the model out here. First up, we have our gym. This is the yellow building right here. Our gym, as I stated before, with Solar City, we're trying to promote, let's say, more fitness and a healthier lifestyle in Anguilla. Anguilla, we don't want to end up like other countries and gaining obesity rates. That wouldn't be good. So when it comes to Solar City, not only are we promoting green energy in Anguilla, but we're also going to be promoting a greener and healthier lifestyle. Also, we have a studying hall, a place for our students and our academics. Maybe a college student, maybe you're just a student from ALHCS. You know, some people are just tired of going into school to get a tutoring session, tired of going up into school all kind of late hours, waiting for security guards and cleaners to close up the school. That wouldn't be nice. So it's nice to have a place where students and teachers alike can come, not only to charge their vehicles, but to come and also study and teach the other students. And here, we have a training facility for our engineers. A training facility, well, for all the things that we have in Solar City, our electric vehicles and all our solar panel, all our wiring, all this high-tech stuff, at this current stage, Anguilla's not ready for that. I'm just sorry if that offends you, but I'm just going to be a little honest here. we're not quite ready for that yet. So what we're planning to do, we're planning to hire more professional engineers to help teach persons in Anguilla to deal with solar panels, to deal with electric cars, because people, our future is electric and it's renewable. Because we can't live off of fossil fuels forever. We've realized that inflation is crazy. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to encourage persons to change to a more solar and electric approach to life. By doing that, we're hiring people to train engineers so they could help around our facilities. And with this profit, we begin our phase 3. Now for phase 3, we are planning to create an app. Now this app could help us do things like, let's say you want to go to the movie, and let's say you can't go to Solar City and buy a ticket, but you really want to go to the movies, but your car really needs a charge. So what will you do? You just go on your app, you get, let's say, a QR code or something, and you order your ticket online. Let's say you want some food from your restaurant, but you can't go straight to Solar City to get your food. What would you do? You order the food from our app. And then let's say you want to pay for your gym membership, but again, you don't have the cash on you, but you have it electronically. You have it on your phone. Everything's electronic nowadays. So you just pull it out on your phone, and again, you pay it on the app. Now, another thing that we're also going to be providing is a solar paneling service. A solar paneling service is where we, the persons from Solar City, will come around and install solar panels for your own personal use. How will we go about doing this? Again, from the engineers that we've been training in our engineer center. During our 5-year phase, we'll have enough engineers to go and start this service. We'll use those, as I said before, we use these engineers and go around to persons who want solar panels in their own personal homes or maybe their own personal business. We'll install and maintain those solar panels for them. Another interesting fact about these solar panels, once our services have extended, those persons could sell the power that they generate from those solar panels back to us. I'll tell you more about that later. And the final step for phase 3, this is a little outside our area, I would say, but if this was to happen, it could be exponentially beneficial for Anguilla. We could make the entire valley into a fully solar-powered area. How could we go about doing this? You could set up, let's say, 1 to 2 or 3 more solar farms around Anguilla. You could do those with their own corresponding parking stations. And doing this, it helps, you could power all the buildings and our facilities in the valley at the same time. Back to Kevin.
Sources of funding. So we acquired our loans from loans, private investors in Anguilla, private investors from overseas, and government funds.
Benefits of Solar City. 1, our renewable energy. As I stated before, inflation is really affecting, and the price of fossil fuels is continuously going up. Not only for fossil fuels, things like diesel, crude oil, and even gas for cars. That wouldn't be a problem with Solar City, just saying. Reducing our carbon footprint, as I said before, with all our solar panels, and by extending our services, we can really reduce the carbon footprint in Anguilla, even though it's not that much. And the leading cause of carbon footprint in Anguilla being the cars, by changes the cars to electric, that really helps to boost Anguilla's efficiency. It also helps to boost in tourism and ecotourism. Maybe you're a tourist just looking for a place that, you're tired of a concrete forest. Maybe you just want a nice green area that you get enough power to operate the things that you want to operate, but it's not to a point where it's a complete concrete forest and there's no culture and it's just bland. You know what I'm saying? So a place like Anguilla, it's better suited for that.
So what about natural disasters?
Well, for natural disasters, we have underground storage for our solar panels. What you have to say?
What about the willingness of us Anguillians to change?
Well, I wouldn't like to say it like this, but I'll be honest, us Anguillians, we're stubborn people. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. We most of the time we are stuck in our ways, and since we've been running on fossil fuels for such a long time, we don't like to change. So, but with this project Solar City, it helps to see the light. If you see what I did there, the light. Yeah, you get it. He gets it. Yeah, all right. Tough crowd over here. So, the wellness angle has changed. So, if we spread our services of Solar City out, let's say, even if we power the valley, if we go further beyond the valley, we could even go to power Anguilla. Wouldn't that be crazy?
So you're trying to compete with ALHCS.
Now that's a good point. So I wouldn't say we're trying to compete with ALHCS, but instead of compete, let's partner with ALHCS, if you know what I'm trying to say. If with government's approval and ALHCS's approval, of course, we could partner with ALHCS and then make this whole process of Solar City go so much quicker, and it could be so much more beneficial to Anguilla with a partnership of ALHCS. Instead of them spending so much money on, let's say, fossil fuels, they could spend more money on our solar power, which would be so much better for Anguilla. Other projects compared to Solar City can include renewable energy project in Tokelau. That project is an island where it is completely solar powered, and the tourism on this island is so off the charts that they don't even know what to do with the money. And then we have the Solar Star project in USA, where they produce so much power per month that it's exponential for the USA. Expansions, as I previously stated, is expanding Anguilla into a fully green zone and expanding our services across the country. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. We'll take 2 questions from our judges. Anybody has a burning question? Ms. Rouse? You
Can you
good?
hear me? Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much, Solar City, for your riveting presentation. I just had a few questions, so I'll start with my first. Can you please confirm how many vehicles can be charged at the Solar City at any one point in time?
So if we're talking about the Solar City itself, vehicles could range from about 100, 150 vehicles, exactly 150 vehicles at the same time. I know that's not a lot of vehicles at the same time. That's why we're planning to expand, if you get what I'm saying. So if we expand like to different areas around the valley, we could charge more vehicles at one time.
Okay, thank you. Second question. Can you please elaborate a bit more on the type of training that will be offered to your engineers?
Sorry?
Can you please elaborate on the type of training that will be offered to the engineers at Solar City?
When it comes to type of training offered to our engineers, we're planning to teach them more about, let's say, electric vehicles. Because since Angola has a lot of engineers, I would say that, and it has a lot of mechanic shops, but most of these mechanic shops, they are suited to more gasoline vehicles. So here at our training center, we're here to teach the engineers more about electric vehicle technology, because the number of electric vehicles will be start to grow once Solar City goes online. And it also teach, let's say, workers from like our other workers with electricity, more about solar power, because it doesn't have a lot of solar projects in Angola at in this current place in time.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Herbert?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. A great presentation, by the way. But I have some questions. What is the shelf life of the batteries used in the electric vehicles that you will plan on bringing in for Solar City and for Angola?
Could you repeat?
What is the shelf life of the batteries that will be used in the vehicles?
You say shelf life, do you mean how long it would take for one vehicle to drive and run out of charge?
How long would it take before you need to replace the batteries? For instance.
In each vehicle?
Yes.
Well,
because the batteries, I know electric vehicles, the batteries have a shelf life.
So we have just some research online and get other information and statistics. So it's about 15 years.
Okay.
So we did the calculations based on the price of our energy to sell for the charging. Basically, about 10 years, that's the price can be break even to change that we save from the gasoline vehicles. Then we can buy the batteries. And then you still have like 5 years of the price. 5 years of the, you save 5 years of money of your,
Right.
yeah, your expenses.
Okay, great. So I've also done some research. It's usually about 10 years. And during my research, I've also found that it is very difficult to dispose of the electrical batteries. Do you know what the laws are in Angola in regards to disposing of these batteries? Also, sometimes there are different ways in which you can charge. You have rapid chargers, which can charge the batteries faster, but it also decreases the shelf life. So you may have a vehicle where the battery might only last 5 years. Do you also know the cost to replace these batteries?
when it comes to cars replacing our batteries, we have to do more insight and more research into this because I can't give you an exact figure off the top of my head to replace a battery in an electric vehicle. But what I can tell you is that we could find out our figures and all our specifics when it comes to replacing a battery if we were to do research in a training facility. When it comes to electric car servicing and maintenance, that would have to be taken up by a professional. But I couldn't give you an exact figure, sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Last question. Lithium-ion batteries. They're quite dangerous for the environment, and most electrical cars use these batteries. So wouldn't that be a different form of pollution when you have to dispose of these batteries? Is electrical vehicles really the way to go, as opposed to gasoline-powered vehicles?
But if you were to talk about gasoline versus electric powered vehicles, you're going to have to consider the inflation of gas prices. As you said yourself, how much do you have to pay to put, let's say, half a tank inside of your vehicle? A lot of money, right? Right around. So if that price is continuously going up, and not only is the cars polluting the air, the price of our gas is continuously going up. If we change our energy source to solar, and then we change our cars to electric, not only is it reducing our pollution, you also get more energy, and you're also driving for longer, and you can also have a good time while doing it.
Good answer.
All right, any brief comment? Comment or question?
Just a quick question. Great job, Solar City. I just want to ask you a question in relation to any assumptions that you're making with government instituting any legislative changes. Do you know what legislative changes you would need in order for your idea to become more feasible?
So when it comes to legislative changes, we have considered that the solar farm in selling power to different facilities will be, yes, illegal. But I'm hoping with, again, government approval, you can see what I'm trying to imply when it comes to Solar City and how we could expand across Anguilla. We're not just trying to, let's say, smuggle power to different facilities. We're trying to expand the entire institution across, again, the valley and then around Anguilla. So we're trying to improve the country by expanding our facilities. But yes, that will require legislative change.
All right, can you put your hands together for Solar City? Our second team for this evening is The Difference. Please make them welcome, The Difference. And they are indeed different. This year is our first time we are having a third form group. And our third form group is all male, and we are very glad to welcome them to the bib.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nikhil Chatlani.
My name is Irani Joseph.
My name is Sage Alfred.
My name is Shavin Narayan.
My name is Javon David.
And we are The Difference. 65 years ago, on 21st December 1953, a beacon of light flashed on the island of Anguilla with bright hope for the future of secondary education here. The Valley Secondary School opens its doors to about 114 excited, bright-eyed students drawn from a cross-section of the population to be the first students to attend this brand new school. They were eager to learn anything new. Today, now known as the ALHCS, Albina Lake Arch Comprehensive School, graduates have left their mark on each continent and can be found in almost every profession imaginable.
This evening, we have the task of presenting you with a creative, innovative, aesthetically pleasing, economically beneficial, environmentally friendly business idea to put in the use of the current Campus A site. This site has served our community and has positively benefited generations of Anguillians, something we wish to preserve as a core of our endeavor. We will discuss and share our concept, its backgrounds, its benefits, and more. When you want to go shopping, see a movie, or find entertainment, our first initial thought is to visit St. Martin.
Because St. Martin is only a short boat ride away, people frequently visit there for entertainment. However, boat rides are pricey, costing $76 US or 205 EC for a round trip.
Our vision for Anguilla's future is for the island to progress in developing a location where anyone, no matter where you are on the island, can enjoy their time and get there quickly. For this reason, we came up with the idea of constructing a multi-purpose complex that we will call the Zeneda Mall.
Now, when you hear of a mall in Anguilla, many things may come to mind, like small malls with no food areas, or perhaps boring plazas with no entertainment.
Right now, there are several compelling reasons to build this complex in Anguilla. A facility to this level will draw tourists and offer entertainment, both of which are important on a small island like ours, seeing that the tourism is our main industry. The fact that we are so close to the airport means that if visitors want to explore right away, after arriving, our complex will be there waiting for them. This opens up a lot more potential for the economy of our island to flourish. Additionally, the fact that we are in the valley is another advantage of our position. Since it lies in the middle of the island, you can drive there from anywhere in Anguilla, and it will only take 10 minutes or less depending on where you are. With the complex being at the central point of Anguilla, it gives the opportunity for more flow of people at a certain time of day.
Another reason we can benefit from this complex is because it gives local businesses an opportunity to rent a space and grow their business. This complex also gives locals, visitors, and other customers a place to stop and shop for all their needs in one spot.
As we all can see, the layout of the mall and the measurements. Our mall will consist of a movie theater, an arcade, a laser tag area, a food area with food vans and shacks, a parking lot, and finally the mall, which all makes up the Zeneda complex. The complex will be open from every day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Let's begin by talking about the parking facility. The agricultural area and bus parking in the back of Campus A will be completely converted into a parking lot for our complex. We aim to have enough space in this area to allow numerous cars of various shapes and sizes so that a variety of clients, including adults and children, can visit the complex at the same time. The parking facility may accommodate up to 1,000 vehicles at once. Parking costs will be 8 EC for individuals. This payment is made each time you enter the complex parking lot. If you prefer to park elsewhere and walk to the complex, you may do so. However, in our facility, car security is provided, which is monitored by our surveillance system and security guards.
Now moving on to our major mall building. The interior of the mall would look something like this. We are planning to use up a decent amount of space for the mall building since we want to accommodate lots of businesses. To keep building costs down, we will include stud walls. The good thing about this is that if a business wants to merge 2 units or more, we can just simply remove a wall or 2 to change the size of the space. We will have 70 units in the mall, each being 26 feet by 63 feet, with rent ranging from 5,405 EC to 8,107 EC. Rent would have to be this amount because we have solar panels that would provide electricity to all units. The amount of rent can change depending on how big of a space you want. Additionally, we decided that an escalator would be useful because the mall has 2 stories. And seeing that we are planning to accommodate so many people at once, this is a great way to move large numbers of people. Furthermore, inside our mall, we would cater for restaurants for people who prefer to eat indoors. In terms of interior design, we would like to include local and regional art for decoration and to promote more of our local artists. We will also have an ATM at the entrance of the mall and a couple more places around the complex so people can withdraw money in case they run out.
With a normal mall having regular businesses such as the shopping areas, some unique things that we would like to include are restaurants, ATMs, pharmacies, travel agents, boutiques, souvenir shops, local and regional art, furniture stores, electronic stores, salon area, jewelry shops, barber shops, and even an affordable spa area. Like I mentioned before, On the exterior of the mall building, on the roof, we would like to make accommodations for solar panels. By using solar panels, not only is it eco-friendly, but is a good source of renewable energy.
Let us now discuss our entertainment area, which includes a movie theater, arcade, and laser tag. In the movie theater, there will be 2 screens, each with 200 seats. What good is a movie theater without a snack bar? We're selling food because our research discovered that the snack bar accounts for 80% of a theater's profit. We will sell snacks such as popcorn, drinks, hot dog, and chips.
Let's not forget about the arcade and laser tag. The arcade will have 30 arcade machines for people to play on, as well as a ticketing system where people can earn tickets to win prizes. Right next to the arcade, we have a laser tag arena. We'll have 20 laser tag machines and 2 arenas that will look something like this. By including this entertainment area, we'll be able to make it one of the complex's main draws, particularly in terms of attracting revenue and tourists. Anguilla will have the opportunity to obtain something that we have never had on such a large scale.
As we near the end of our concept, a park and a food court would be required for this complex to be completed. We will have something similar to this in the park area, as well as benches and picnic tables here. In the food area, we will rent out parking spaces for food trucks and also include accommodations for a couple of shacks.
As we can see on the model, the complex contains lots of grass and greenery, especially for the park. This idea is to keep the greenery and be more eco-friendly to our environment. Now, having this much greenery means we have to have a high maintenance for keeping it all alive and healthy. Our development will contain a wastewater facility where all wastewater from all buildings, for example, coming from bathroom sinks, etc., will be stored underground and will go through a filter system when ready for plants and grass to be watered. By doing this, it saves us from paying for water to take care of the plants and grass.
You all may be wondering, wow, this is a lot. How much is this all going to cost? Now we talk about the prices. We have done some research and have made tables to show how much everything will cost.
First up, we have our parking. The entire parking area would cost around $260,000 US, or around 696,000 EC. The reason it's 85,000 to clear land is because we did some research, and it's around $1 to clear 1 square foot of land. And we're also going to pave the land for the parking in asphalt instead of cement because it's more cheaper. Even though it's cheaper, doesn't mean it's bad. It still lasts around 30 years. That's why, and it's $2 to pave 1 square foot in asphalt. That's why it's $170,000. And for extra, we'll have $5,000 extra for paint on the floors for parking, and it's extra. Then we have the mall. The interior design, like the glass railings and the escalator and things like that, would be around $200,000 US. The building itself would be around $3 million US. We know this because we've done some research, and from our mentor who helped us out and told us that it's around $175 US to build around a cement 1 square foot of land. And then we'll have $25,000 for extra. Then we have arcade and laser tag. The arcade machines in all would cost $150,000 US. And the cost of 1 arcade machine is around $5,000 because we're looking to get high quality arcade machines. We don't want low quality ones because guess what, maybe tomorrow they might break down, and then we have to keep up with the maintenance of those. The amount of arcade machines that we're getting would be 30. The building would also cost around $3 million, and laser tag the laser tag vests and guns that we would use would cost around $60,000. The cost of one is $3,000 for a proper commercial laser tag gun and vest. We'll have 20 of them. And then the extra is for building the laser tag arenas and for the lights in the arcade. And all of that would add up to around $3,200,000, around that much. Then we have the movie theater. The screens, we'll have 2 screens, and the cost of one is around $15,000 US. The building itself would cost around $4,200,000. The chairs would be around $50,000, and we'll have 6 and we'll have 400 chairs, 200 in each screen room, since we have 2 screen rooms. And then the food would cost $4,600 for like the popcorn machines and the soda dispensers. We've done some research on that part too. It's around $700 for one popcorn machine. We'll have 2, and it's around maybe $1,500 or $1,000 for a commercial soda dispenser machine. And the couple extra in the food is for other things, like a hot dog griller and things like that. Then you have extra money for food, for the popcorn kernels and things like that. To get the funding for this project, we would take a loan from the bank for around $11,200,000 US. We'll be looking to pay back the bank in 15 years by paying $6,500 with interest to the bank every month for 15 years. We can easily pay them back because if you look at the table that should be on the papers that we've given you earlier on our profit, if we expect 700 customers a day, with around 500 of them using our parking space, you can see that we easily make more than that in just a month from rent and parking. Remember, we still have to make profit off of the arcade and movie theater.
To conclude, with an aesthetically pleasing complex and an economic boosting mall and sought-after movie theater with many more jam-packed ideas, we anticipate that this proposal presented to you this evening is a functional and practical one that will attract a diversity of patrons locally, regionally, and internationally to the island. By making this plan a reality, an appeal is created to the local and international community alike to shop, be entertained, promoting a healthy and restored well-being. Ladies and gentlemen,
we are
the difference.
Thank you for listening.
All right, now I'm going to give any judge that didn't have an opportunity at first to speak or to ask a question. We'll start with Minister Gomez-Marie.
Thank you for that presentation. I think it was a really good job. As you know, I'm meant to ask questions in relation to innovation. And innovation shouldn't just be a good idea generally, it needs to be a good idea within context of where it's being put into place. So my question is, do you foresee Anguilla's population being a challenge to the sustainability of Zeneda Complex?
Well, our main target for this is not only for Anguilla, but seeing that our main industry is tourism, we are looking at something to bring in more tourists.
And I also noted that the arcade included laser tags and guns. Currently, the importation of those equipments are banned by the RAPF and customs. So how would you convince them that this recreational activity would not increase or lead to an increase in gun crime?
Well, then again, we are looking at the influence of bringing in tourists. So if we can get them on our side, on that side, to like influence them to do this, as it could be a benefit. So like, if you're going over St. Martin to do stuff like the movie theater and stuff, why stop us from doing that when we could actually get people from St. Martin to come over here?
And just remember, this is just the beginning of our idea. We have a long way to go with this idea, with more things coming.
Okay, my questions are similar. So I wanted to know if you did research on like how many people go to St. Martin for these purposes, and if you can really redivert them to the Zeneda Complex. I think you should come and go closer to Zeneda Complex so we know what you're talking about, which model is yours. So again, how many people really go to St. Martin to do these things that would really make Zeneda Complex feasible and practical? You said you needed 700 customers a day. Can you really manage that? So it's a related question.
We can manage that because, of course, the space is big enough. And most of our research from Anguillians going to St. Martin is from personal experience. When we go to St. Martin ourselves, we meet several of Anguillians. Next time you go to St. Martin, you never know. You might even meet your friend over there at the same movie you're watching. We all know that we all travel to St. Martin often, now and then, maybe once a week, once a month, to go and watch a movie. So most of the research was on personal experience, seeing that all the people go to St. Martin from Anguilla.
Okay, and another related question, did you do research to find out if they might want to do other things that, that maybe they can't do in St. Martin, they can't do here right now, but you can offer them something completely different so did you do any surveys to figure out what other types of entertainment people might want to do now and in the future?
Of course, this is just the beginning. So if we get more space, might do surveys in the future and I don't know, more surveys in the future to get more ideas, and we would add them to our complex and extend it, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Good night, everyone. Let me thank you all for your wonderful presentation, and I think you should be very proud of the job that you've done tonight. I have just a few questions on the economic side. I want to continue where Mrs. Carter left off, because your project is, for it to be viable, it's highly dependent on customers, on patrons, on a daily basis. I want to go back to the tourist aspect of it. You mentioned that your research was focused more, or you're looking for a project that can complement the tourism industry. Do you have a sense as to the current levels of tourist arrivals in Anguilla 1 and 2? By how much would we need to increase those arrivals to make your project viable? That's the first question.
So one of the reasons we opened a mall in the first place, I had this experience where I went to St. Martin once and I was standing up behind. I was just kind of listening in on a conversation that some people were having, and I assumed they were tourists. So one of the persons said, "What did you buy?" And she said, "Well, I didn't buy anything. There's nothing to buy there. There's just the beaches." So that's one of the main reasons why we said we're gonna open a mall where there's opportunities for locals to open their business and for more stuff to be sold. And the movie theater, arcade, and laser tag are just stuff for like attraction. So let's say if you go to the movie theater, right? And then you come outside, you finish your movie, there's the arcade there, there's a laser tag there, right? There's also, we mentioned we have ATMs. So the layout of this basically is just to capture the eye of something. So the more you see something, the longer you stay there, because there are so much activities and stuff to do.
Okay. Let me thank you for your financial analysis and for submitting it. That was very useful. I have one final question. A mall is not only a good center for commerce, but it's also a very high employer, right? Do you have any projections on the number of persons or jobs that will be created by this mall?
Well, as in our research, we have 70 units for business areas. So those would be for people, businesses alone. For the arcade and laser tag, also including movie theater, that will be owned by the mall itself. That wouldn't be owned by any private people. For the food van area, those are also spaces to be rented out. And on top here, like we have, okay, so the food van area, like for people, let me explain more. People who enjoy like an outdoor kind of vibe, they would go out there. Like you would find more higher end restaurants for people who enjoy a different type of vibe inside here. So as you can see here, we have inside there's the restaurant, and basically out here would be more like a rooftop view. We don't have an exact number of people that will be employed yet because we are not sure about that.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. I just wanted some clarification. Did you say that the agricultural land at the existing site will be converted into the parking lot?
Yes.
Okay, just as a recommendation, moving forward, it's a best practice for you to keep all arable or agricultural land in that farm, because in Angola we have a situation where we have very limited agricultural land and we're trying to move towards food security. So if you have a site that's a project site or whatever type of site that has agricultural land, you'd want to keep it that way. That's a form of sustainable land management. And you have a food court in there, you can use it to grow crops or whatever that can support the food court. So you'd want to keep that land as agricultural land and not a parking lot, okay?
Okay.
Again, these are third formers. I don't think I was even half their size when I was in third form. Next, we have PXD. Please put your hands together for them. Hopefully we will learn what that means, PXD.
Good night. The Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, also known as now the Campus A, was established in 1953 on September 21st, the Valley Anguilla, making it just about 60 years old. Sadly, due to Hurricane Irma in 2017, the school infrastructure was faced with a catastrophic damage. I am sure we are all aware of this. Due to this, the organization has been left with only one full campus, Campus B, and a few buildings from the other campus, Campus A, to create operation from. They tried their best to adapt through creating a shift system. Farms 1 and 2 use it in the morning from 7 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., while third farm uses it also at Campus A from 7 a.m. to 11:30. Farms 4 and 5 use it in the afternoon half from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. But now there's a new school being built which leaves the campus open for redevelopment and new opportunities.
Our idea is to construct a revenue-generating facility that would consist of an indoor-outdoor multifunctional entertainment area on the first floor and a regular and virtual arcade on the second floor. The multifunctional area will be designed in a manner that allows for it to be utilized for entertainment purposes as long as formal business meetings.
Okay, in this project, we decided to conduct research on 3 businesses that focus on entertainment towards their customers. The first business is Main Event. Main Event is an American chain of family entertainment centers, and its headquarters is located in Plano, Texas. It first opened in 1998, and as of today, it operates at 50 different locations in 17 of the 50 states in America. It consists of many entertainment features such as restaurants, bowling alleys, and arcades. It is able to host meetings, special events, and birthday parties. They offer their business and services to customers who are desirous of having a special function or meeting. Next up, we have the Painted Duck. This is a small organization, and it is a semi-private space located in Atlanta, Georgia, that was founded in 2014. It includes 8 duck-pin bowling lanes, soft lounge-style seating areas, booths equipped with a private bar, flat-screen televisions, and an automatic bumper. Both entertainment centers are extremely well reviewed. Customers continuously rave about their memorable experiences and are continuously eager for more excitement and fun with family and friends. The secret of success for both business models has been identifying the sweet spot for entertainment facilitation that allows for everyone of different ages to be accommodated cohesively. Next is the VRVE. The VRVE, which stands for Virtual Reality Visitors Experience, is located in Liverpool, in the UK, and it is its #1 leading virtual reality center. They offer something for all ages. Their VR studios come equipped with cutting-edge VR technology, enabling to provide the absolute best virtual reality experiences available today. They cater for weddings, festivals, events, birthdays, and parties. Last, we have the Apple Park. And this is Apple's iconic headquarters located in Cupertino, California, in the United States. This was opened to its employees in 2017. Apple Park is 1.6 kilometers in circumference, and its diameter is 461 meters. It is powered by renewable energy via solar panels and biofuels.
So back to our idea. Let's talk about the arcade. In our arcade was inspired by main events and the painted duck. Our arcade would offer games like bowling, whack to win, and others. The games here would be something aimed to be enjoyed by the entire family, meaning that we will cater for all ages. What we found was best for Anguilla current economy in our population is that we'll be open part-time. On weekdays, we'll be open from 6 to 10, and on weekends, we'll be open from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. As of right now, when Anguilla economy grows, we will be able to open for longer hours, but right now, we think this is the most optimal solution. Now, next, we'll be talking about the virtual arcade. This will be mainly targeted towards tourism, but it'll also be open to citizens of Anguilla. Our idea is to create simulations of locations in Anguilla that would be a full-body experience to your five senses. For example, we could create simulations based on history. Just imagine that we create a digital room in Anguilla, but it was 2,000 years ago. So when someone enters in this environment, they would environment that we think how ALHCS lived back in the day. They would be in a room that has like different sorts of activities. Okay. We're here right now. So you have on the goggles and you just inside of this entire new universe right now. We all designed this. And in real life, you would have like clay right now because we're talking about Anguilla history, we'll have clay. So right now, you'll be creating like clay pots, or you could be shooting bows. So in the game, you would be like, you'll have your bow and you'll be shooting, you'll be hunting. Okay, so in reality, you'd have a bow and an arrow and you'll be shooting at a blank wall. But inside of the game, a beautifully designed virtual reality room, you'll be experiencing all the joys associated with your accomplishment of hunting and shooting your first agouti. I don't know if any of you could relate, but you remember when you was a kid, your first time ever catching a fish is the same excitement right now. Or we can use a different example. For example, we can have a day in a life in Anguilla. One thing that we came up with is you can have an experience going with Hurricane Irma. and we can take a different approach to this scenario. So we can have this one based on like an escape room or a game. So imagine you inside of this virtual simulated room, and your job right now is to prepare your house for Hurricane Irma. So you can have in terms of levels. So if you don't pass the level, you're forced to go out in the storm, and endless possibilities there. We will have like simulations. We have on the goggles and simulations, but then in real life, you'll have like fans blowing wind at you, water sprinkling on you, and it's all about the experience. Now, putting the scenarios aside, we have one major advantage to this technology, which means it can be used over and over again. Because the hardware could be used over and over again. It's just that the software that needs to be changing. And we can always offer something new. So it's not that we're creating something physical because we'll always have something new, and we can have it like theme-based. So this month, we can have it based on history, and next one, we can have it based on experience. And everything that's changing is basically just the software, but we can have hired staff, so these people can be employed like 24, like all the time, but there's no real expense to change it. So it's always going to be something new. I always want to know what's happening and what we have to offer. A big major role to this would be marketing, because we have to market and tell people what we're offering this month. And this service will be only available through appointments. Next we'll be talking about our multi-use center. As mentioned before, it would be an indoor-outdoor space. So from our diagram, you can see there's a park in the center right now. So all this would be area that would be able to open. So we can have a few, so those sliding doors, so we can have it as an entertainment. So this space would be used, we can relocate food vendors already here. We're creating a space for entertainment. We can have small group meetings for students, organizers. We can have conferences. We can have a place for bands come practice. We can have, this will be just your open area, so it has endless possibilities. We can have graduations, inductions. We can even set up playing fields and even exercising areas. And lastly, we wanted to utilize our rooftop area. So we came up with a design to have half the rooftop to be solar panels and half of it to be entertainment space. This entertainment space will be rented for, like, say if you wanted like birthday parties or to have a ceremony. Now, why is this location perfect? Number one, because centralization and ease of access. The location is centrally located in Anguilla. The location is centrally located in Anguilla. The valley is the capital of Anguilla. Therefore, if we build this facility in the area campus A is currently located, it will be a suitable driving distance from all access points in Anguilla. Secondly, it is economic and social development. The valley is the main economic zone on the island. Therefore, it is important to add value to the downtown development of the island. This will help to create a thriving downtown that will increase tourist attractions and community involvement. Possible forms of revenue from the Archie. We can make it a community-infused approach. So what we was thinking was, every now and then, like once a week, we could have a community, let's say like Island Harbor or West End, in charge of planning an event. So these events will be advertised, and we just have different people coming in. Let's say if they want to use the arcade and just have like a small festival, they use the arcade. If they want to use the entertainment space, we'll have it there set up as just an open area, and if we need to make like a section off, we can just use drywall. Drywall is easy to put in and to remove, and it's cost efficient. We will utilize the arcade for tourism activity. We can make collaborations with companies that already started business to have a fundraiser. And the arcade and the multi-use place will be available for rent during the day. And let's create a scenario. So picture this. How much revenue we can generate? This is the best case scenario, by the way. And all our prices are in US. With the community area, we want to open it to the public, that you can just come in here and relax. We plan on having like an exercising field, just a place for you to come to relax. So we're thinking about charging like $5 per month, which is very affordable. And let's say we have about 1,000 customers, that's $5,000 per month, and that's $60,000 a year alone from subscriptions. Next, we have rent. We would charge rent at $200 per hour, and let's say we have 10 people that rent our space on an average 2 hours. That's $40 every month, and that's $48,000 yearly. So 60 plus $48,000, that's $108,000 yearly from the community center. Now let's talk about these community held events. We have them once per week. So let's say we gross $2,000 every week. That's $8,000 a month. That's $104,000 a year. Now, pay attention. Tourism VR arcade. So here, things are a little bit interesting. We did some research on the pricing of virtual reality arcades across the world, and we came up with our best price. Since in Angola we do high-end tourism, and also our experience, like a full experience, we think that a price, which is cheaper than other places, we would charge at $200 per hour, and let's say we have about 500 tourist sessions a month. That's $100,000 a month. And let's say, and that's $1.2 million every single year. Please note that we're using all the same technology. The only thing changing is that we're having a different program running. And with the arcade, let's say we gross about $2,000 every week. That's $8,000 a month. That's $104,000 a year. And then from the rooftop entertainment, we were thinking about pricing there at $300 per hour. Again, let's say we get 10 sessions rent every month, averaging 3 hours a session. That's $9,000 a month, $108,000 a year. And when we add all those figures, that's $1.636 million every year. And that is about 4.38 million EC. Okay. So next is the financial cost. The biggest cost is our building, and with our current design for the indoor-outdoor thing and how we themed it after Apple Park, having a park in the middle, we would have to level out the land to make this building possible. Next would be materials to build the building and labor. Labor is not such a bad thing because we'll be hiring our own Anguillians, so we'll keep the money within our own economy. Next would be our arcade equipment and software engineers, which is not a bad thing again because a lot of young people right now are interested in software, so we can just give out some scholarships and then come back work and develop Anguilla. Next is challenges with possible solutions. Our first thing would be funding the project. We found that the Caribbean Development Bank is a good option. We actually did some research in accordance to the Caribbean Development Bank leading policy dated December 2006. Under the section 2.02, this project would be considered eligible to receive funding from the Caribbean Development Bank. Other forms of funding will be loans from other third parties and investors. Another big problem would be high cost to level the land. With our current design, we would need the land flat, so if it's not cost efficient, we might have to rethink our design.
So just to quickly recap, our idea is to construct a revenue-generating facility that will consist of an indoor-outdoor multifunctional entertainment area on the first floor and a regular and virtual reality arcade on the second floor.
Lastly, we have benefits to society. It's a new form of entertainment. It is a community building and engagement. And lastly, it's an additional tourism revenue generator. Thank you.
Well, PXD, I think you guys did an amazing job, as all the groups have. I just have one question for you, and I'm not sure if the program didn't show the figures for your costs. Would you be able to give us the numbers in relation to your costs? We didn't see them on the screen.
Yes, we didn't have specific numbers, so we estimate that this would cost around between $5 to $6 million to build, because it's just, main building costs would be the exterior, because everything inside would be just open space. And like I said before, if we need to build like section off, we'll use drywall.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, PXD, but we still don't know what your name means, and we're still curious about that, but we'll see if you'll tell us or not. But I wanted to express some appreciation for the fact that your virtual arcade was going to include historical experiences, like you could go back in Angola 200 years and feel and experience what that felt like, and also the social benefits came out very strong, throughout your entire presentation, as well as the cost effectiveness. You kept repeating that the overheads would be quite low, but we really also wanted to see how much it would actually cost, the breakdown. And again, we're still wondering what PXD means.
So PXD means Primex Designs.
Thanks.
So we're a company that focuses on state-of-the-art architectural designs, not the structure part, but just the design of it.
So similar to Mrs. Carty, I did think that the inclusion of the historic elements as to why the space is available, particularly Hurricane Irma, was a very good touch, because I think it's important to say, okay, well, this is the history of the space, and this is what it is right now, and you can actually experience what led to the destruction of the space. So I thought that was good. I had a question because I realized that your case studies focus on 3 case studies in America, 1 in the UK, and I wanted to know what core differences do you think there'll be between those case studies and the implementation of a similar idea in Anguilla, and how will you overcome those hurdles?
Wait, you repeat your question, please? You said 3.
So you had, 4 case studies,
Yes.
3 in America, 1 in the UK. And the markets in Anguilla and the markets in America and in the UK are very different. But you are being inspired by an idea coming from those markets.
Yes.
So I wanted to know what difficulties or opportunities do you foresee in moving an idea from those markets to Anguilla, and how will you overcome the difficulties in particular?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, be specific for each one?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to start with Apple Park. We like the design. We like the whole idea with the parking inside and the solar panels. Apple Park, I think, is about 70% renewable energy powered. They have biofuel and solar panels, so we really like that idea. So we was inspired by the solar panels and the layout. Although it's circular, we think because of the location and the size of the area, it would be best to make it a square. With the virtual arcade, which is in the UK, we was also looking at which place had the best technology, because we wanted to make the best experience right here in Anguilla. The market may vary, but we was mostly targeting tourists. And right now, Anguilla is, Anguilla is developing. Like, we just got the airport and there's more tourists coming here, so that market is always going to grow with main events in the Painted Duck. Those two places have very loyal customers. We wanted to know why, so we studied places that like people was reviewing good. And people right here in Anguilla and all over the world share the same like attachment, same makeup when they get tattooed. We wanted to know why they were returning customers, like how did they treat the customers, why are they successful. So it wasn't really specific on Anguilla market, but we wanted to know how do we keep people coming back. And with that, with the market, we realized that Anguilla doesn't have the market to sustain something full-time. That's why I mentioned that right now we wanted to open part-time, in which I said the times, I can't remember, but I said the times we think would be optimal right now. So we did take that into account.
Okay, thanks again for your wonderful presentation. You highlighted that Hurricane Irma was the catalyst that led to the availability of this space. What lessons have you learned, and how will your project withstand the likes of another Hurricane Irma or something worse?
Hurricanes has been around for a very long time, and engineers have adapted. So we just hire engineers and tell them to focus on making this building hurricane-proof.
All right, thank you, PXD. Please give them a hand. All right, that was PXD, and we are halfway through. Just to let you know, there's hot fish soup on the outside if you're cold on the inside. It is for sale, a school fundraiser. Pink House actually. Number 4. Ms. Kentish Rogers didn't like that. Deep End Innovators, team number 4. Deep End Innovators.
For the health of the economy, we compromise the health of human beings. It is time we let consciousness guide our lives. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening. Fixing healthcare and fixing the economy go hand in hand. If we neglect health, we make our society unproductive, and if we neglect the economy, we limit development. Therefore, it is of great necessity that we invest in the health sector, so that we can avoid future economic turmoil. A sports and wellness center is my recommendation. It is a proven fact that internationally, Anguilla is at the bottom of each sporting competition, are not ranked at all. In Anguilla, we do not lack talent, we lack the harnessing of talent. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the solution. the Waldemar Brooks Sports and Wellness Center. The center is so named after one of the region's notable sportscasters and commentators. He was a news presenter, linguist, teacher, and sportsman who lived among us and worked at the Valley Secondary School and later at the Albino Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, the site of this wellness center. Waldemar Brooks, Ras B, is remembered as the distinctive and efficient voice that captured the discipline, energy, and vibrancy of sports. In 2010, Ras B was a recipient of the Anguilla Badge of Honor and Queen's Certificate for his invaluable contribution to journalism and social commentary. Ras B used his voice to engage intelligent social discussions. He used his voice to encourage positive change and challenge politicians and plebeians alike to stand tall and nobly. This wellness center commemorates the contribution of Ras B, Waldemar Brooks, to sports and social development. Case review. Okay, technical difficulties.
So we're going to start off with the location of the building. The building will be located where Campus A is currently located. So the building is 1,632 square meters, and it consists of a national park. So what we really wanted to do was create one spot where you can do anything that has to do with sports and stuff like that, and also create a park where, like, maybe lunchtime or in your spare time you can come and relax. One of our challenges while creating this idea was noise reduction. Since in the valley, everything in this valley, rather noise and traffic be. So to compete with that, what we did was, usually when engineers are trying to get rid of noise or create noise reduction, they use thick walls, big walls, to block out most of the sound. And if you look at okay, sorry. If you look at the sports center, we have a thick wall all around the building. Another thing we use, and engineers use to block out noise, is the perception, their mind. So we have a lot of trees around that, the birch elm that make you feel calm and a sense of to take your mind away from the noise. As you can see, there's ponds and a lot of stuff where there's moving water and stuff like that. It also blocks out the noise, noises like that, because it moves your mind away from the traffic that is passing and all those stuff. To power this big building, if you look on top of the building, we have 27 solar panels. Each solar panel has 6 solar panels in this one spot, and each of those solar panels generates 325 kilowatts. The whole size of the power system, the solar power system, is a 50 kilowatt power system to power the whole building. The building comprises on the outside. In the center, it has a tennis court, a professional tennis court where you can hold tournaments. They have tennis courts in Anguilla, but none of them are tournament style where people can come and sit down and watch. The Anguilla Tennis Academy, they have a tennis court, but no one can come and sit down and watch. It's just tennis courts. If you watch, you have to look to the fence. You have to be right around the edges. Around the edges, we will also decide to relocate the sports department inside of the center. So we have offices, we have rooms downstairs, an indoor basketball court. We have indoor swimming pool. We had Alex, our swimmer. He went to the Commonwealth Games. He actually trained in someone else's pool. I think they borrowed somebody's pool basically to practice. They have indoor swimming for people to learn. It's an island. A lot of people don't know how to swim. Have indoor swimming. We have bowling. It also has downstairs. Ping pong table for professional ping pong competitions. A lot of amenities and stuff like that.
The functions provided by the center can be classified into 3 main categories. 1, recreation. 2, sports development, and 3, health.
For recreational purposes, visitors can visit Tranquil Gardens, which would be open weekly from 6:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. free of charge. Tranquil Gardens is a mini park of open green spaces with appropriate furnishings, culturally relevant symbols, and playground. Tranquil Gardens also serves as an area to distress from the burdensome task of the workplace, a place where people can sit back, relax, and enjoy their lunch, spend family time in a safe and clean environment. In Anguilla, a common complaint of parents is that there is a lack of place where they can bring their children to play. Because of this, children often grow up lonely, addicted to technology, idle, and lack appreciation of spending time outdoors. This is a great problem because if we were to train our children in this way, they would continue to have these bad habits as adults. To combat this issue, the Tranquil Gardens will provide parents with the option to drop their children off and enroll them into programs which will allow their children to be supervised as they work. To have access to these facilities, a play pass would be needed. This play pass would be purchased at the front desk in the main building and would have to be renewed monthly. The price of the pass would be $5 for children under the age of 13, $10 for adolescents, and $15 for adults. If you don't own a play pass or forgot to renew it, you just have to pay $5 extra additionally to the price that you would have to pay considering your age. The play pass allows access to rock climbing, table tennis, bowling, and roller skating rinks. There will be a cultural room where visitors would have the ability to tour the cultural rooms, which will showcase all the past and current athletes, history of sports, and fun facts. This will help to edify the youth and connect them with their history, helping to inspire and motivate them to strive for greatness.
I also want to add that the cultural room would also be located in the main building, just for clarification. In Anguilla, the sports sector is often overlooked, and as a result, it is very underdeveloped. Young talent is abundant, but due to a lack of sporting facilities, the youth are forced to give up on their dreams. The following sports that will be developed through the WBSW Center are swimming, tennis, basketball, volleyball, and netball. Swimming in Anguilla is quite a promising sport. Just recently, Alex Lake represented Anguilla in the Commonwealth and performed exceptionally well. I grew up with Alex and remembered him to be more of a tennis player than a swimmer. Alex's athletic prowess in the water was harnessed when he moved to the US. He probably wouldn't have been discovered if he had stayed here. What made the difference? Training facilities. My point is, Alex could have been one out of many Anguillians who are talented swimmers who go unnoticed due to the lack of swimming facilities. The indoor swimming pool at the Waldemar Brooks Sporting and Wellness Center would allow for swimming competitions and swimming classes to teach those who may not know how to swim, to harness potential for those who already know how to swim, to take them to the next level, basically. Professional courts will also be constructed for the benefit of practice, hosting of competitions, and increasing popularity of the sport. The existing concrete basketball courts in Anguilla place players at higher risk of sustaining injuries. Donovan Mitchell, a famous basketball player, actually refused to play on the concrete courts when he came to visit our island and took the boat to St. Martin to train at their basketball facility. The Waldemar Brooks Sports and Wellness Center will feature green beans cuisine and health is wealth restaurants. Our menus cater for those who want to pursue recovery from disease, maintain a healthy body weight, and to function at an optimal level. The lactose intolerant, the gluten sensitive, the allergic, the overweight, the vegetarian, the pescatarian. All who want to respect the laws of their well-being will be satisfied and nourished. Additionally, we propose the relocation of the Sports Center to the Waldemar Brooks Sports and Wellness Center. In this new location, the Sports Department will help to complete the Sports Department will help to complete the already zoned area for sports and wellness, from the Stony Ground playing field to the hospital and AFA Park in the north, the James Ronald Webster Park, the Valley Health Clinic to the Coronation Park to the west. Complementary service providers to the sports department include nutritionists, sports psychologists, social coaching, sports analysis, kinesiologists, exercise physiologists, general therapists, a steam room, and hydrotherapists. So these are the features that we intend on implementing at this center. As stated before, meal planning.
So for expenses, as you can see, the estimated cost for land clearance is $40,200 EC dollars. Sorry, it was a mistake. It's supposed to be US dollars instead of EC dollars. Building, $3 million. Furniture, $500,000. Equipment, $50,000. Construction materials, $50,000. Solar panels, $60,000. Total expenses, $3,700,200.
But we don't have to worry because we will make that back.
So how we plan on making back money is by having tournaments, hosting tournaments, like for basketball, ping pong, and those different activities. And we plan on charging $10 per person. If we charge $10 per person, and we have an estimated guest of 2,000 people, times the 2 years, the estimated cost is $40,000 US. And when you convert that to EC dollars, it's 107. $107,000 and
200.
Yeah, 200.
Okay, so the food sales.
WBSW Center will spawn a new breed of focused, disciplined athletes that will put Angola on the sports map. From fostering local pride and inspiration from our forerunners like Raz Bucket, Zarnell Hughes, and Shara Proctor, to improve organization, efficiency, training. WBSW will enable Angola to bench press for sporting excellence on the international scene. How? Easy answer. Oftentimes, the reason for minimal growth in the sports industry derives from lack of proper training spaces and equipment, neglecting, downplaying, or just not putting adequate concern into injuries sustained, or the fact that many injuries are constantly acquired through playing incorrectly and skipping warm-ups, or just through nutritional ignorance. We say no more. There's an inconsistency that plagues the way we do things. There's low standards we set for ourselves, the complacency, the negative mindsets. The WBSW Center will provide athletes with the necessary resources they need to improve physically and mentally. Envision bigger teams, bigger opportunities, better chances, and a chance to make a great change. And hopefully, in no time, you'll see Angola's teams on the big screen at the Olympics, World Cup, and many more places. But does it stop with them? No. The center is a place for everybody. The center provides numerous health benefits through consultations, group sessions, and educational public meetings. School assessments and surveys will be carried out to ascertain students' physical and mental conditions. We will engage with the best and the brightest in the field of sports and wellness. While the center does serve for professional use, the doors are open for all. Hence, there are sporting and wellness stores and restaurants to allow you to move and improve in the way you choose. The activities will not only influence a more diverse skill set among citizens, but also provide fun, interactive activities to keep people entertained, promote fitness in a more attractive light, educate the masses, stimulate new and different interests, and bringing a new wave of employment and revenue. The economy's improvement can be promoted through health and sports tourism. By introducing a cafeteria for athletes, citizens, or tourists, either for a specific diet or for healing sickness, we will allow Angola to expand its tourism offerings. Now, we've mentioned the numerous benefits, but we cannot forget the possible challenges, namely managing programs, regulating costs, maintaining inventory, and funding. However, to combat these challenges, we could do some extreme budgeting, financial planning, keep track of inventories, and such on.
The government of Anguilla should finance and manage the Waldemar Brooks Sports and Wellness Center in order to promote physical activities, create jobs, and provide citizens and tourists with recreational activities. The Sports and Wellness Center would be a good investment because it helps cultivate a healthy, fit population, which in return contributes to the growth of the nation. A healthy population equates to greater productivity, higher economic growth. By investing in the upkeep and development of this sports and wellness center, the government would be investing in the health and leisure of citizens and tourists. This would, in return, boost morale as well as boost health tourism, as citizens and tourists will be able to have access to facilities that promote a high quality of life. A society that is physically active, well-fed, and active in leisure activities will be far more productive economically. Furthermore, owning the Sports and Wellness Center allows the government to directly fund activities and sports benefiting the disadvantaged. For example, by providing public funding to sports organizations, the government can ensure that those organizations can offer their services and products to citizens at an affordable price, making it easier for people with limited financial resources to access these services. This helps bridge the socio-economic gap, thereby creating an economic stimulus. Another source of funding is the United Kingdom government. Since 1956, Britain has had the power to pass legislation for the benefit of their overseas territories. This allows the UK government to provide investment for the construction of the Waldemar Brooks Fitness and Wellness Center, as well as provide consultative advice on how these facilities should or can be managed. The UK can fund the Sports and Wellness Center in Anguilla through direct grants and financial assistance. The UK government currently provides grants to a number of Commonwealth nations and overseas territories. For example, in 2018, the Department of International Development, DFID, approved a total of £5 million, or $6.5 million in 4 Caribbean countries, which are Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, Grenada, and the Bahamas, for the installment, expansion, or maintenance of similar projects to the Sports and Wellness Center here in Anguilla. Monetary policies are administered through the Department of International Development. The discretionary basis of these grants means that the UK government is able to provide grants for the Waldemar Brooks Sports and Wellness Center. Overall, the UK government can play an important role in supporting the government of Anguilla and the Sports and Wellness Center. But of course, the center will generate revenue internally from its services, memberships, activities, public functions, stores, restaurants, renting out spaces, and fundraising.
In conclusion, the Waldemar Brooks Sports and Wellness Center aims to better the health of our people, develop local sporting competitions, and provide a place for recreational activities. Through this investment, we invest in our future, and we ensure that our economy develops by maintaining productivity. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to allow our consciousness to guide our lives. We are the deep innovators. Wait. We are the deep end innovators, and we embrace the Waldemar Brooks Sports and Wellness Center initiative. May you all have a good evening.
I definitely agree with this idea. I think you are looking at me, but I definitely agree that Deanne Kentish Rogers should fulfill this idea. So I had a lot of questions earlier, but today I'm just really commenting. I think that this is an excellent idea. I'm going to speak on behalf of our missing judge, Fanbun, who would really recognize the importance and the thought behind urban design and developing sustainable cities. Because the location you've chosen, it is unofficially the sports belt, and then it's sandwiched between two health facilities as well, so we can see the complementary services available for this. And it also recognizes the cultural and the historical importance of such a facility. It recognizes that while we have historically produced award-winning and internationally recognized athletes, a big part of why we haven't produced more is because of the lack of facilities. So I think it is a very good business plan. It's very detailed. And if I had money, and this was Shark Tank, I wouldn't be here. But in all of these scenarios, I would fund this. It's a really amazing idea.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say that I really appreciate the connection you made between positive engagement with natural resources and mood regulation and emotional well-being. So good job.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I want to take the time, of course. I know you put the pressure on me, but I think that the idea that you presented this evening was very well executed. I think that you have pulled out a number of the socio-economic benefits of developing the center in the area that you have identified. In fact, it was a part of our discussion in relation to creating a sports avenue, so it's kind of very coherent with what discussions have already been taking place.
Plan for sale.
And in addition to that, I think that while there are some elements, just for edification, things like DFID, that no longer exists. That's now changed to the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office. So that is one of the institutions that you look for in relation to UK funding. But in addition to that, one of the areas that I was very curious about in relation to the presentation really has to do with the sustainability of the programmatic offering, because those are really the linchpin of creating sustainable sports development. So what I wanted to ask you is, how do you plan on attracting personnel, coaches, technical officials specifically in relation to the programs you want to offer at this center? This center. Do you have any idea?
We want to take a time out to think.
Oh, no problem.
we intend to use the knowledge that the sports department have in connection to coaches around the world to try to attract them to this sports and wellness center that we have developed here.
We're also going to use the personnel that is already available, since there's going to be a connection between the sports department and the center already. We're also going to open it up to the region too. So, yeah.
And I just wanted to add that PE and sport is perhaps the fastest growing subject in the curriculum at the Albina Lake Arch Comprehensive School, and it's offered at both the CSEC and the CAPE level. So I'm sure that there will be many experts coming out of those programs that can support the Sports and Wellness Center.
Thank you, thank you.
And there you have deep end innovators. Just in case you were wondering what the 70 on our stage is, for those of you who may not have heard, we at the ALHCS, we are celebrating our VSS, which started 70 years ago, and so we're commemorating 70 years of secondary education in Anguilla. Can you give that a hand clap? A lot of our students are surprised to learn that prior to 1953, if you wanted to get a high school education, you had to get on a boat and go to St. Kitts to get one. And we are truly thankful that we do not have to do that today. Our next team, and remember for soup is still outside, if you're a little bit cold still, is FAME. F-H-A-M-E. Can you please put your hands together for FAME?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us as we discuss the ideas that will be going to the Campus A property. Now we know Anguilla is a beautiful island, and we have great potential for economic growth and prosperity. However, we have a few challenges. Our GDP relies heavily on tourism, making our economic output very seasonal. Our skilled workers are leaving the island to find suitable opportunities and have no choice to leave in search for a better future. With the lack of economic diversification and significant brain drain being vital challenges, we were desperate to come up with a solution.
To tackle these issues head-on, we are proposing the development of an economic enrichment center named Innovate Anguilla. We cover two main areas, which are business incubation and developmental training. Our aim is to promote the development of new skills within the Anguillan population while enriching the economy. Campus A will become a physical center of innovation containing collaborative workspaces and offering training in areas such as technology, agriculture, crafts, and fashion, as we aim to increase our presence in the orange economy. And all of this will take place in our collaborative workspaces, which we will walk you through now.
So first we have here is some model examples of our collaborative workspaces that are accessible to the public free of charge. We have a general lounge, snack bar, co-working spaces where you can go and do whatever work you deem fit. Next, we have the space for our crafts classes that we'll be providing. And also the space for fashion design. And this is our 3D rendered model of the entire property. So our main showboat is incubation. We're doing this through something that we like to call the Biz Haven program. Now, this is a program that aims to attract and retain talent and investment in the country by providing support to local businesses, institutes, and individuals. Through this program, we offer a number of services. The first of these is business planning and strategy, where our agents provide guidance on creating and executing ideas and business plans to help starters lift off into the market. So this is going to lessen the 1,000,001 lift glass businesses that we got to maybe 500,000. So we also have innovative mentorship and coaching, where our agents will help pre-existing businesses overcome challenges and adopt innovative solutions to remain competitive and future-proof. So we'll also offer businesses access to funding and resources, such as venture capital and grants, as well as resources like office space, equipment, and legal support. Now this program, as well as the entire center itself, is going to act as a hub for networking and partnership opportunities. So Biz Haven connects businesses with relevant partners and stakeholders to help them grow and succeed. And with this, it becomes easier for smaller businesses to network and become known in their industry. This is our main plan to attract digital nomads. Now, attracting digital nomads to Angola can bring many numerous benefits to the local economy. And to make Angola an even more attractive destination, we're asking the government to help us offer immigration and work permit privileges with a hassle-free package, as well as tax incentives like tax-free salaries. This will not only bring high-skilled professionals with their expertise and willingness to share, but also encourage businesses to start up in Angola. Innovate Angola is the physical component of this plan.
By implementing our business idea, Anguilla will attain many benefits, one of them being economic growth. Our center can incubate new businesses, and their success will bring in significant revenue to the local economy. Not only that, it will create jobs, it will develop the community, and it will grow the population. And it will create a spillover effect. If these businesses that come to our center succeed, people will be motivated to start their own businesses in Anguilla.
Now, there are some things that may prohibit the process of implementing our idea to its full potential. Firstly, with Anguilla's limited market size, especially at the beginning of our operations, we may struggle to generate sufficient revenue that will support new businesses. In relation, talent retention is also a potential challenge to us. If we don't provide the best work experience, entrepreneurs and employees may be attracted to other centers with better working conditions and more potential customers or partners. However, if you pay keen attention, you'd realize that the benefits of our businesses directly combat the challenges, so that after our business is established, other businesses won't have to suffer from these problems. Lastly, getting government and stakeholders' support may be a challenge. Acceptance of our proposals isn't guaranteed, but it's important to work towards this.
Now, continuing with the analysis of our project, in terms of strengths, of course we are an attractive location. That speaks for itself. Now, Anguilla, whether you believe it or not, is actually a low-tax environment For a GST comparison, our cousins over in St. Kitts have to pay a 17% goods and service tax on their products. Now moving on to weaknesses, we lack investment capital. But most importantly, the locals may be a bit hesitant or resistant to the change that we're trying to make, and they might not provide us with the support that we would like as soon as we would need it. At Innovate Anguilla, we see the opportunity to create a population of skilled workers who are ready for the challenges of the new technological world. They're ready to adapt to the changes of the future, and we also see the opportunity to provide more services such as electronics, product design, social media marketing, and developing other high-value skills for our clients to indulge in. Now, the threats are obvious. Natural disasters, specifically hurricanes, and also competition from other similar ideas in the world.
As you can see, we plan to fund our project through government grants, private investments, sponsorships, individual donations, and grants from foundations.
Our revenue will be generated through the services we provide, through the trainings, the rentals, and the incubation. Under software and hardware, these are our technological trainings. Our business classes, our craft, fashion design, and hydroponics, and then the adult education programs, because we also care about adults too, not just the youths. With our rentals, we provide a large auditorium, small auditorium, conference rooms, co-working spaces, and physical activity rooms for people to host their classes. Incubation services, we provide mentorship, business planning and strategy. We offer public shares to those who take our incubation, and we also provide the advertisement.
Now, in terms of our rentals, here's a look at what we plan to have our conference rooms looking like. And here's a model of our business auditorium, which is high-tech and designed to change into a place where you can hold any event you want. Theatrical plays, you see it there. Business presentations, pitches, anything you want, you got it there. And also, it has elevated seating for all the angles that you need, and as well as a space for networking and conferencing. And this is a look at our study rooms, which can be rented at a very, very, very small cost, especially for students like us who are rambling around the valley looking for a place to work on this exact project.
Now here's a graphical representation of our streams of revenue. Now, every year, we want to increase our prices by 2.5% just to cover inflation, because that also affects us too. This graph shows within the first 5 years our total revenue after we are established. Now, startup costs. Taking into consideration construction, labor, furniture, equipment, we have roughly estimated around $25 million. With our operational costs, which are our costs per month, we have estimated around $57,000 per month. Now, we do have an appendix in which you can see our funding and our individual pricing. Now, remember, sustainability is at the core. So over time, our operational costs will slowly go down.
Integrating sustainability and sustainable practice was a key aspect of our proposal. Some of these sustainable practices include gray water reclamation and the use of cisterns. This will conserve fresh water, reduce energy consumption and carbon emissions, provide a supplemental water source, and create water independence, which will reduce water bills and the burden on local water sources. Next, we have cloud computing. Cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet. It is a better alternative to local data centers as it produces fewer carbon emissions and provides an efficient use of energy. Next, we have solar power. Anguilla's climate provides the best conditions for solar energy usage. Our building structure will be powered by this energy source, which will significantly reduce carbon emissions. Now for our case study, Startup Madeira. This is an innovative business campus that provides startup and business incubation, co-work spaces, and virtual offices.
So now, before Madeira's booming tourism industry and its innovative business campus, it was a pretty empty island, mostly consisting of smallholder farmers with low levels of cultivation. But it also had picturesque coastal scenes and white sandy beaches. Does this sound familiar? So, both Anguilla and Madeira natural environment make them attractive destinations. So by comparing these two, we can outline the potential Anguilla has. Now we know Madeira's population is much higher than Anguilla's, but let's look a little further into it. We can see that Madeira's GDP is $10,000 higher than Anguilla's, but could you believe that that tourism makes up 15% more of their GDP? Anguilla's taxes are also nowhere near as heavy as Madeira's. So now we can see the potential Anguilla truly has as we have something over them already. So how did Madeira accomplish this?
Madeira diversifies their economy as they create centers of innovation, teach high-value skills, develop the blue economy, and provide support to local businesses. These objectives have led to population growth, retention of skilled workers, diversified tourism, and an increased adoption of business technology.
So Anguilla shares these features with Madeira and many more, which make it possible for us to invest and benefit from a project like this. All these things and more have added to a 1.5 million euro per month added to the local island economy. Now come to think of it, that's like more than 3 million Johnny Cakes at Ken's barbecue.
Madeira has many features that appeal to digital nomads, some of which include the tax benefits, the attractive lifestyle, the scenery, nature, and sunny weather of Madeira Island. And like Anguilla, tourism is Madeira's main economic export. So clearly, it is in Anguilla's best interest to adopt a similar approach and venture into a digital, innovative, and developmental business field that will help to diversify and benefit Anguilla.
Now, we will offer a 99-year lease to buy agreement to the government, which at the end of the 99 years, we will have the right to buy the land for a pre-described amount. And just to note, if there's any local businesses who want to partner and help us empower the entrepreneurial talent of Anguilla, Anguilla Youth Business Foundation, we're here with open arms.
We believe that Innovate Anguilla has the potential to be a catalyst for economic growth and innovation in Anguilla, and we are excited to be working on this important initiative. We invite you to join us as we work together to build a more prosperous and sustainable economy for our island. Thank you.
Thank you. Judges, who wants to go first? Mr. Archibald, we haven't heard from you yet. Not yet.
Okay, Fame. Job well done. I think that you guys had a very good presentation. It was well thought out and well executed. Again, I think there's a lot of pressure going on. I don't know if some members have access to the government email channels, But I think that this is a great idea, and it's something that actually has been thought through from the government side. I wanted to see from your presentation, and you spoke very briefly about digital nomads. I don't know if you are going to offer or incentivize any other programs for persons coming into the country to work in the incubator. I can give you the opportunity to answer now, but I do have a secondary question. Do you have any other programming that you're going to offer persons coming into the incubator?
Please provide us a brief moment to discuss. So, about the digital nomads thing, we know digital nomads to be people who have the pleasure of being able to work from anywhere in the world. Now, a lot of places in the world, like Madeira, have heavy taxes and stuff like that. So, we're providing the tax incentives and ease of access into Angola. For example, you can you can remove the taxes from their salary in order to make it more attractive for Angola. And we also have the picturesque scenes and beaches that we discussed earlier.
Okay, thank you. I was also looking along the lines of, in terms of your conversation about immigration, free work permits, fast-track business licenses, services of that nature, which would go hand in hand with a digital nomad scheme. But also, because one of the critical components for an incubator is the mentorship aspect. How do you propose to sustain a mentorship program here in Anguilla? That's one of the challenges that has been faced by incubators. How would you propose to sustain a mentorship program here in Anguilla?
Well, not only are we going to use our local sources, but we want to outreach to global skills. We want to get the knowledge and skill and talent of the people overseas so that they can come here and help us, help the community, help Anguilla, and teach us their knowledge so that we can grow as a small island.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. I just wanted to say that this is amongst some of the few times that I've seen people talk about economic growth and opportunities and align it with environmental sustainability. So I just want to say thank you for making it clear that it is possible.
You're welcome.
We say thanks to FAME, and now we call our sixth and final group, the Clovers.
By a show of hands, do you believe that most of your produce that you purchase is imported?
So either just pass all the pretty local produce, straight like how you see it, and go to the plastic. Don't worry, we're gonna wrap all of our produce in plastic so it can be attractive and so that you can actually purchase it.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, fellow students, a pleasant evening. I am Kishante Kanakate.
I am Vikayla Richardson.
I am Shantae Maynard.
And I am Carrie Zing. And we are the Clovers presenting to you our business ideas. The Green Clovers, an innovative and sustainable aeroponics farm for the redevelopment of the current Campus A site.
Aeroponics is the method of growing plants and crops without the use of soil. This requires liquid nutrient solution that can help plants to grow in a vertical apparatus. Each plant receives its nutrients by having moisture sprayed on its lower stem and dangling roots. Then the canopy, which includes the edible leaves, extend above the construct, creating a moist and oxygen-rich environment. This system requires a water pump, a reservoir for the nutrient solution, a root chamber, and electricity. For the past 70 years, the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School has served the Anguillian community with secondary education. Without this institution, this event, as well as the innovative ideas generated, could not have been possible. Instead of erasing this history or letting the land go to waste, this space has great potential to be repurposed into something that would also greatly serve the community, just as the school once did.
History. First used in the 1920s for academic studies of root growth, aeroponics would not become a real contender until the 1990s. NASA began looking at it as an option for growing food in soilless environments such as space. While the process is still in its infancy, aeroponics is quickly gaining popularity as many horticulturists are recognizing it for its potential and its major advantages.
Current national scene. The agricultural sector in Anguilla has potential to be further maximized. Additionally, there's a lack of diversity in terms of the fruits and vegetables that are produced locally. Majority of the produce found in our supermarkets and consumed by the local population is imported from places as far as China. Each day, money leaks out of the economy to purchase this produce. We face the risk of relying on other countries, and this can be very dangerous, as there is so much uncertainty as to when and how this produce will even arrive. Delays can occur, ships can tank, and trucks can turn over. And let's not forget to mention, how will this produce even arrive? In what state? Will it be fresh? And what do we know about the sanitation, about where these produce is harvested, and how it is grown, or even the pesticides in which they use? To put in simpler terms, if the world was to shut down once again, I give Anguilla about maybe 2 weeks before we completely die of starvation. Anguilla is completely wiped out. I say this in reference to the COVID-19 pandemic and how challenging it was to find certain produce and how long it took to arrive to the island. Additionally, this idea aligns with sustainable development goals such as Goal 7, which is to provide affordable and clean energy, Goal 9, which deals with industry innovation and infrastructure, as well as Goal 12, which is the responsible product and consumption, which ensures sustainable consumption and production patterns. Therefore, Anguilla should shift its attention towards growing its own produce to supply the local community and eventually look towards expanding for exportation.
Case reviewed. Aeroponics agriculture in Nigeria. Food insecurity is widespread in Nigeria. Farmers makes up roughly about 70% of the labor force, making rain-dependent agriculture the country's economic backbone. Numerous factors such as inadequate irrigation systems, droughts, and a lack of fertile land have contributed to a dramatic decrease in food production during the past 20 years. Now, a new technique of agriculture known as aeroponics is a more environmentally friendly way to farm, and its vertical structure is the solution to Nigeria's land shortage issues. Aeroponics was recently introduced to Nigeria by Samson Ogboli. He is a farmer from Nigeria with a biochemistry degree who recognized the need for more sustainable agricultural practices in his country. Ogboli started working with aeroponics in 2014 and is now a co-owner of PS Nutraceuticals, an agri-tech business that promotes the use of more effective farming methods. Additionally, we conducted field research by contacting local supermarkets with regards to produce with the highest demand. For further research, on January 24, 2023, we interviewed Mr. Trenton Roach, a horticulturist at the Agriculture Department, where he educated us on the best way to implement this farming system. For instance, he mentioned that constructing the aeroponics towers as opposed to buying them is less difficult than you think. He also advised that it would be more cost-effective for the structure to be built using materials such as pipe instead of purchasing the systems. Additionally, he mentioned persons that operate within this industry, including Isabel Rosario and Colin Fleming.
Technical difficulties.
This is a short video of the farm at the agriculture.
The idea. While researching for the most impactful idea that will not only contribute to the island economically, but socially, politically, and sustainably, aeroponics seemed to be the most suitable idea for the area as well as the resources available. Currently, the topography at the Campus A site lacks fertile soil and has a rocky terrain. Therefore, creating an aeroponics farm where no soil will be needed will be the best solution. As an island looking to reduce our importation, this idea can lead to increased exportation, revenue generation, job creation, foreign exchange earnings, economic diversification, and the list goes on. Not only will this idea promote the use of local products, but it will also encourage healthy eating, allow more money to be circulated within the economy, and increase our food security. So some of the fruits and vegetables that we intend to grow, not limited to, basil, lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, and kale. Keep in mind that other produce and vegetables can be grown, but this can be done as the business continues to expand.
Logistics, the daily running of our business. Business hours will run from 8 to 5 on a Monday to Friday basis. Office workers and horticulturists will work from Monday to Friday. On the weekends, one horticulturist will come in to check the produce. Tours of the farm will occur on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On average, leafy greens will take 6 weeks to produce vegetations, while other vegetations may vary depending on the produce. The number of produce that will be harvested depends on the vegetation that is being grown. Our aim for the business is to make shipments that will run locally and regionally. We desire for our produce to be sold locally in supermarkets to villas and hotels. Also, to make regular shipments to Saint Martin or Saint Martin. But for foreseen expansion, we would expand to other islands such as St. Bart's, St. Kitts, and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, etc. Amount of water. Leafy greens will need 4 to 8 liters. This may vary depending on the crop being produced. Also depends on the climate, which will be controlled. Aeroponics uses less water than traditional farming.
Financial cost. To save cost, all existing buildings will be repurposed to facilitate the aeroponics farm. However, a 14 by 20 dispatching garage will be built to house our solar transportation vehicles, as there is currently no area large enough. Additionally, a solar farm will need to be constructed. Here we have an estimated cost for building. As you can see, from excavation down to paint, we're coming in at about just over $38,000, prices estimated in US. The estimated cost for the solar farm, once again, coming in from the watt inverter down to installation, shipping, everything is included. We're coming in at about just over $20,000, once again in US. And lastly, the estimated cost for the aeroponics operation, we're coming in at just over $55,000. And for estimated revenue, sales, including the revenue that will be generated by tours, which will cost 20 US per person. This can include the use of our tour bikes, or tourists and locals alike can walk. Minus salary deductions, we're coming in at $163,000.
Some benefits of agriculture aeroponics are it allows farming to occur year-round under any circumstances. The structure promotes healthier plants with a richer flavor profile. This system produces a yield that can be up to 3 times higher and at a faster rate. The occurrence of plant infestation is lower than other farming systems. It helps to save water because it uses a closed-loop system. It eliminates the use of pesticides. Its design allows producers to achieve higher yields and maximize the full potential of limited farming spaces. And the maintenance requirements for aeroponics are minimal and affordable.
Fun fact, did you know that according to NASA, aeroponic systems eliminate the need for pesticides and can reduce water usage by 98%? I know, it's very shocking. 98%, that's a lot. Additionally, the amount of fertilizer used can be reduced by 60%. These factors can save you a lot of money in the long run.
Foreseeable challenges and their solutions. A challenge that may be faced are aeroponics is highly susceptible to power outages. And our solution is that in the event of adverse weather conditions, the farm can accommodate dual energy, electricity and solar. Another challenge we may face is to ensure the nutrients solution is sufficient for the amount and type of plants being produced. And our solution for that is to have daily reports that will be recorded and analyzed.
Sources of funding. Our potential investors include environmentalists, government agencies, agriculture and fisheries, as well as hotels. So before we close, we have some things to display to you guys. I'll start by beginning to explain our project. So this is our aeroponic side tower. Beginning with our enclosed growing chamber, And this is where we have our cylindrical pipe or tube inside. The water pump inside the reservoir streams water through the water pipe, and this is then carried through misting nozzles and mist the roots of the plants. Nutrient water reservoir, which is this to the bottom right here, that contains the water. This is containing water that is nutrient-packed, required for plants, and they are required for the plants. This varies on the type of plants that we grow. This tab are opening, guys, before I do anything else. This tab are opening is where we put our nutrients, as well as where we can check our water content and the nutrients that are in the water to ensure that our plants are growing. Because if we do not have the correct amount of nutrients, this can cause all of our plants to falter and die ultimately. Our growing basket, which will be these cylindrical pieces, which will be made out of smaller pipes. These are all to keep the plants suspended. Okay, so I'll come around with the judges with our plants that we got from the agriculture compared to something that we bought in the store 2 days before. So we'll be comparing the smell of the basil that we got in the store compared to the basil that we got from the aeroponics plant at the agriculture. This is as well, as you can see in the presentation that we had before, the lettuce that was growing at the aeroponics farm. So we'll go around to the judges to allow them to have a smell to compare the smell to you guys. So, Sarisa, can you describe to us how it looks compared to the locally grown basil? Okay. And very bright. Do you want to smell this very bad looking basil? Describe the smell, please. Terrible. Thank you. Would you like a whiff? And please describe the smell. Thank you. We love that. May I have a... Can you describe the smell of this basil compared to the fresh basil that we got from our aeroponics farm?
This one is, that one is really good.
Thank you. Teacher, would you want to smell as well?
Okay, the other one was, I guess, very fragrant, and this is very disagreeable.
Thank you. Miss Marie, would you like a smell? Thank you. Miss Rose? Can you can you compare the smell of both of them?
This one smells spoiled.
Thank you. And our last comparison.
It doesn't smell good.
This is one more show of the lettuce that we grew in the aeroponics farm. As you saw before, how small the lettuce was, and in the matter of, I believe this was 2 weeks, how big the lettuce became. So I think this is way more sustainable and something that can really help well with the anguilla and our plans on furthering our production or opening more eyes into production opposed to, well, hand in hand with tourism. Where's the thing? Yeah. The PowerPoint? So this is the map or the outline of the school and where we will be building on. And this is our full view of our redesign. My apologies for it being in, for it being in plan view. We had a little bit of technical difficulties while making this model. And I also want to thank Jahim Christie for helping us with this model at such short notice. So this will be our gazebo. The gazebo was inspired by the gazebo at the agricultural grounds. And as Miss Quincy Gums, as you might have been there before, you can tell like how greatly structured it is. So we really took a lot of inspiration from that, and we wanted to put it in this area. We also have our main office and parking lot. So this will be our main office. So if you have any questions, inquiries, and whatever business needs will happen right here. We have our parking lot. We also have our benches and our chairs and foliage. And this will be used as a park or community area so we can have a place to have fun and just chill. So that's something that a lot of teenagers in Anguilla need, and we found that need, so we wanted to implement it into our plan or our new area. This is the main event. This is the aeroponics farm. And as you can see, these will be our aeroponic towers. This is where we store our plants that we accumulated during the growing process of this aeroponics farm. And we'll be housing them in these areas. This is the bike and racks, and as you might have remembered from Vikila said that we'll be using this as a way to carry out our tours. We also plan on trying to implement agricultural tourism into Anguilla, so we wanted to use that as kind of a spectacle to really bring people into agricultural tourism. This is where our departments will be. As you can see, the emergency unit, the energy unit. This is where we will hold our solar energy from our solar energy plant. This will be our aeroponics, where we hold a lot of our plants, purchasing, and what's that last one? Yeah. And this is where our delivery and inventory will be. So when we plan on carrying out our aeroponics to different stores, as well as you remember, we plan on carrying them overseas. We'll carry them in these trucks in the back here. And these trucks are also powered by solar energy, opposed to by diesel. And so it can be cleaner gas and yeah. May I have my paper, please? We would also like to experiment and push boundaries of aeroponics and even try to attempt to grow produce that is not ideal or typically grown using aeroponics, as well as introducing new crops to Anguilla's agriculture. For example, strawberries and blueberries. Crops that haven't been commonly grown in Anguilla or in the Caribbean that requires 14 hours of daylight and temperatures ranging from 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. To prevent the strawberries from interfering with each other while growing, because they do tend to hang down from the weight of the strawberries, we would use a circular ring or a cylindrical or circular piece of material to hold up these strawberries to prevent them from growing in the way of each other that will stunt their growth. And that's it. Before we end off, we just wanted to say, go green and eat clean.
So I thought this was a very good, amazing presentation. In the spirit of transparency, though, I have to acknowledge that some of the initiatives that I have been directly involved in have been featured in your presentation, particularly the Fog Farms system, and some of the samples that we had to smell would have come from that system. So I did wonder, in speaking with Ms. Griffith, if I should contribute to the judging of this segment, so that people don't think that, but she advised that this is just an example of your idea and not necessarily the foundation of that. So just in case if anyone is wondering why I continue to judge, I think that's important for your benefit and mine, and the calming the nerves of the other teams in the rooms, just in case they think I'll be biased, but I won't be. I really like this this experiment because I think it makes use of some of the value in this land. So while we would have acknowledged a previous presentation would have looked at location and what the other supporting services are, this presentation recognizes that that land has good use for vegetation and then builds on that. I think the one criticism that I have of the presentation is that it leaves the listener to fill in the blanks. So we know we have water issues and access to land issues, and I would have loved to see that clearly defined, because I can't forget that I know that these things exist, but just in case someone doesn't know the value of utilizing spaces like this and the benefit of systems like this to tackle the land management and water scarcity issues that we have, it would have been good just to spend a little bit of time to speak about Anguilla's context and why this is particularly important. I thought also, I really appreciated the mention of the SDGs, and I thought I should mention for your knowledge that CARICOM-wide, we have all committed to trying to reduce either by sector or whole, or in terms of different kinds of produce, or in general by 25%. We want to reduce those imports by 25% by 2025. So an initiative like this would have a regional impact, and I thought that the innovation in that aspect, although it wasn't clearly stated in your presentation, there was some regional relevance to your presentation, and I really appreciated that.
Brilliant, brilliant presentation, ladies. I can tell you did quite a bit of research. I know aeroponics have some challenges, and one of the challenges is they require regular disinfectant in a root chamber. Otherwise, you get, the water gets dirty, you get bugs, and the plants get diseases. What disinfectants will you use that will have the least amount impact on the plants?
To reduce the use of chemicals, we would look to source natural disinfectants so that it won't be harmful to the plants.
Okay. And what system will you use to monitor and measure the pH that will keep it in the desired range in order for the plants to absorb the nutrients? Because this is very important. Otherwise, you're basically eating plants that don't have any nutrients, and also if you don't keep them in the desired range, they become too alkaline or too acidic, and the plants will die. So what methods would you use to measure and monitor the pH?
Okay, so we would actually get a system that will monitor the pH levels 24/7 so that issues like that can be avoided.
I was wondering if you were being cheeky with your name, the Clovers, because when I saw the name, I thought immediately of Bring It On, but you did bring it on tonight, so congratulations.
Thank you.
I also wanted to say that you mentioned in your presentation that your project aligns with Sustainable Development Goals 7, 8, and 9, but I think it's important for me to let you know that it aligns with all 17 of them, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies. I want to congratulate you guys on your presentation. I think it was very well thought out. I especially like the fact that you guys, in your planning, considered using the pre-existing structures on the current ALHCS site, and I think that that even comes full circle in terms of your sustainable planning. I also wanted just to note for the Honorable Minister, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you ladies made a presentation, or some of you ladies made a presentation in relation to vertical farming at a previous bib. Okay, it was okay, all right, okay, so, but it's very consistent. But I do want to ask a question in relation to the building expenses, because in your presentation, your estimate in relation to your building costs was $38,000 US. Is that including the construction of the center specifically to have your pipes and your shipping arrangements? Are those all included in that $38,000 US?
Yes, all of those costs are all listed inside of that price quote.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Please give them a hand, the Clovers. And that is all 6 teams. Can you please put your hands together to say congrats to all of them? I'm now going to give our judges 2 minutes to view, to finish, put in your scores, and then your folders will be collected. 2 minutes, judges. Now you can go online to our school's Facebook page, and you can vote for the best presentation. Who presented their idea the best? You can go online. Everybody will have an opportunity to vote once. You can go online and vote. Judges, if you need to see any of the models close up, you're free to take a closer look as well. Okay, it should be up, ALHCS, our Facebook page. If you go on it, Ms. Haskins Charles would have helped us out in posting it. Anybody found it yet? It's up? Yes, it's up. The online judging will be on for 5 minutes and then it will shut down. While we're doing that, we just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to the students who participated. Thank you to the coaches, the mentors who worked with them over the last, I would say, maybe month or 2 months. We really appreciate the effort that you put in. Students and coaches, mentors, we thank you. We want to thank the Anguilla Youth Business Fund for their strategic partnership again this year. Just all the judges are finished. If you're finished, you can raise your hand. Mrs. Carbon, I think they're just waiting on 2. To the tune of nearly $15,000, the Anguilla Youth Business Foundation partners with us to execute this event. We want to thank our CEO, our principal, our senior management team for all the support that it gives to the business department in ensuring that this event happens and happens excellently. Some special community partners, because without a whole lot of people, this event will not get done. The Anguillian, they freely every year advertise and publish this event, and we want to thank the Anguillian. Without even asking us for anything, we get full page, we take up a whole page actually with our Business Week events, and we are thankful. To you, our parents, our friends, our supporters for being here and for being online, we really appreciate your presence. To Flo, this is our 4th year. We send an email, and Flo is so precious to us that we wouldn't be online without them. And they just hook us up with some very strong internet capabilities, and therefore we appreciate Flo for all they do for us. We want to thank Anguilla. Again, 4 years running, Anguilla pushes us out there into the world, and we really appreciate them. Titanium Audiovisuals, it's our 4th year. It's our 4th year and we haven't gotten a bill yet. I'm hoping that it doesn't happen this year. We are thankful to Titanium Audiovisuals because they are our sponsor in this regard. Please put your hands together for them. This podium before us is the product of a person who we asked last year to sponsor the price of a podium. We wanted to rent a podium. And the person said, well, how much is a rental? And I said, $75. They said, $75. I said, okay, well, no. I will pay for it this year, but next year you'll have your own podium. And they decided to pull a few strings, work some works, and they bought us a podium, and they said, so now you have a podium, and you will rent this podium, and this will be one way that your business department can raise funds. And we call it the LWP. It is the Lyndon Williams podium. Lyndon Williams, a past student, he donated it, and he, along with Mrs. Shelley Rogers-Webster, they both combined to present this podium to the business department, and we are thankful for them. High-Tech Science and Designs, they freely printed our certificates, which each of our students will receive. The beautiful plants around come from Mr. Carl Connor. We thank him for making us feel, as one of the students says, with plants and water around, you feel so much more calmer and cooler, don't you? Yes. Cool FM Radio Anguilla for supporting us and making sure that we were on the airwaves. Radio Anguilla every year hosts us for at least an hour to share about our business week. We thank them. Again, to our judges who have given up their time to sit in a very cold room and be very focused and be focused and analyze, hear from our children and really be there, not just somewhere else, but they were really focused on hearing them. So judges, we want to say thank you. To you, the audience, thank you, thank you, thank you. Special persons who donated prizes, Mr. Warren Buttle, Minister Deanne Kentish-Rogers, Ms. Kathy Gums at Silly Key, Mr. Kenroy Herbert. We want to thank Mr. Van Brooks because we have a standing order for winners. They the person who wins prize number 1, first prize, they get a free Minimoke for the day, once you have a license. Ms. Simone Kana and Sandy Island Enterprises, Ms. Javiet Richardson for the work she does in making this room gorgeous. We thank so many people, and if I have forgotten anybody, you can just, kind of message me so I can mention to you. I do want to thank all the members of the business department for their hard work in executing our business week, and we are truly thankful, thankful, thankful. If anybody, any of the judges or anyone on the floor wishes to give a comment on our topic about the redevelopment of the current Campus A site, we will entertain you at this time. Anyone? Mrs. Gomes-Marie?
I thought the minister would say something, of education would have something to say. But I do think I have had questions myself on what happens after the move and what would be, how can we ensure that the space continues to give to Anguilla in the way that it has historically given to us. And I think a lot of these ideas presented here really are aligned, I think, with our national development goals. And as Minister Kentish Rogers said earlier, it feels like someone has been peeking into our emails because some of the ideas that have been brought forward here are aligned with what government's thinking. As probably a forward-thinking way of moving forward with this program, I wonder if it would be good to have the members who haven't presented to remain in the room, because I did see some levels of criticism, constructive feedback that was given to a group, then applied to a following group in their presentation. So just for...
Oh, you mean...
Yeah, just to level the playing field. I just thought that maybe I should bring that up for the future, so that people don't feel as though because they're going last, they're given the advantage of getting all of the feedback and then doing little last-minute changes in their presentations.
Thanks for the note. Anybody else from the audience would like to comment, say anything? Minister Deanne?
Yes, thank you. I want to thank you, first of all, Teacher Avanella. I know that organizing this BIB is not easy and that it requires a lot of sacrifice and dedication, and I believe that the students and the entire Anguillian population wants to thank you for organizing it with the business unit at the Albina Lake Arch Comprehensive School, and I think she deserves a round of applause.
It's an honor to serve.
As the minister might have started to mention just now, there is a lot of alignment in relation to some of the ideas that were brought to the fore from our students this evening. And I do want to encourage our students, because while some of them, of course, we have multiple plans here before us, and that means that, of course, not all of the plans can be implemented. That does not mean that the ideas that are captured within these presentations can be implemented at different locations. So I wanted to kind of encourage the students so that they are not discouraged if another project gets chosen for that particular location, but that their ideals and for development in Anguilla will still be prioritized. So I just wanted to say that on record.
All right. Any of the students want to say any last-minute word? Anybody? All right. Mrs. Carty? Thank you. After? Yes, you can do that. Yes, that'll be good. Please welcome our principal, Mrs. Rita Celestine Carty. While we wait on the scores, she will give some closing remarks. After which, if the scores are not back as yet, Mr. Romney, you can do the same.
And then your prayer at the very end. Okay. So good evening all.
And I'm sure that although it is late, we can agree that this is time well spent in the Rodney MacArthur Ray Auditorium today. And I would like to say that on behalf of the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, we are grateful to all partners, particularly the Angola Youth Business Foundation, for making this possible. As you can tell from the presentations by Ms. Griffith, it is not cheap to put on this competition, so I would like you now to give them a big round of applause. I would also like, on behalf of the school, to say thank you to our very own students, to the teams, all of them, those that are here this evening and those who dared to put their name on the paper. And then an extra applause for those that made it here, because it takes a lot. It really does. Yes. And we have to thank their mentors as well, because, you know, when children get up front, we know that there's a whole lot behind them, a whole lot of support. So those people who worked with them, because, I mean, just making the models alone, that is a task in itself, and having the presentations, the ideas that they present, and the ideas that they have in reserve for when they have questions. I think this is really an awesome, awesome event, so you can keep on clapping. It was also noted that this event and all of the events that will take place during the year 2023 are being cast under the umbrella of 70 years of secondary education available in Anguilla. That is also an achievement. We want to commemorate it all year long. So everything we do, we will remind persons that this is the 70th year since 1953 that persons in Angola can go to secondary school right here on the island. Now, the school has grown in a lot of ways. The first population, the first school cohort, and I'm trying to figure out whether that was, how many farms that was 114 students. And now the school has grown to 1,200 students. And I'm sure it has also grown in other ways, particularly as we can see this evening in the types of experiences that have been offered to students, because I'm sure 1953, 1963, 1973, nobody had a business idea basket, and what was required of them was completely different to what we are demanding of our students now, which is to problem solve and to present in front of a live audience and take questions from that audience, solutions for the future, because that's exactly what they have presented to us today. And what they have presented is a clear and present challenge not only to current leaders, but I dare say to you, teams, to yourselves as future leaders. So you're actually challenging yourselves, because I'm sure over all these 4 years and more, as the BIB continues, some of these ideas will come to fruition, and you will have to not only establish, but also maintain them and inspire others as we go on. So finally, I think for me, as I sat there, an important part was the collaboration. In 1953, I'm sure everybody kept their paper to themselves, covered their papers, and made sure their answers were their own. Now we are trying to inspire young minds to collaborate on ideas, to work together. So I want to encourage you to continue to huddle as much as you need to, because that is what we need as a nation in order to grow. We need that spirit of collaboration rather than self-centeredness. So go there and take us there as well. Finally, thank you to the business department and the head of the department, Ms. Griffith, for coordinating not only this very thought-provoking event, but all of the other activities that will take place this week under Business Week. It takes a lot, so applaud again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Carty. I will let you know what our week comprises of after Mr. Rumley speaks. I must do that now? Okay, fine. But just one thing before it slips me. The coaches or the mentors, yes, they have to be thanked, but our teams are allowed to have persons assist or even construct their models for them. And these persons, again, the collaboration is so, I would say, sweet. They really enjoy working with each other and doing what they do best. And so the persons building these, along with the students, have taken really a lot of time, not only time, but pride and joy in it. So if you can, before you leave, do come up and view the various models, and we are going to have them on display on Friday here as well, which I will get to in a second. Yesterday, we had a great time during break time, and I know a lot of us who grew up in primary school and in my age group, we enjoyed rounders, skipping, shanking, hot soaking shanks. And I find that our break times are so bland nowadays. And so we spice it up. We spice up our break times on Monday during business week by having an entrepreneurial quiz. And we are thankful to restaurants who sponsored so many different prizes for our students. And that was a very exciting activity yesterday. We're going to do it again tomorrow because we had a lot of prizes left over. And today is our business idea basket. Tomorrow we have something called Student Employee Day, and we're focusing on the orange economy, where we are going to pair students with employers, and they're going to go to work in an industry or an area that they are interested in, not necessarily maybe fully, but maybe just even have some interest in to find out. And so we have at least 16 students going out between tomorrow and maybe next week, and we want to thank all those employers who have agreed to host our students. We really appreciate having them for one full work day. On Thursday, in this room, we're going to have a mini business conference where we're going to have exciting facilitators, speakers come in to talk to our students about thinking big and small Anguilla, an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. You're not too young to be you're not too young to be your own boss, so that kind of thing. And then on Friday, that sign up there, which hasn't come down in 4 years, the Ethne Richardson Entrepreneurship Exposition. All are invited to come to see small businesses that our students and our teachers do own and operate. The models, again, will be on display. We'll have a food court here where you can come and buy some snacks during lunchtime. And at 12:15 to, I think, about 1:45, we will have our newest business, our musical artist, New Dawn, will be performing from 12:15. So come on and hear them, and you most likely will want to book them for your next event where you need some entertainment. And that wraps up our week. And of course, you can see, even by day 2, we're a little bit tired. But we push it and we go in. I just wanted to say thanks again to everybody for coming. And our judge, not judge, and I wasn't going to say judge, our judge scores at a Adarapa is here. Just tell me, you're going to need to help me. All right, so let's start. We're going to start with, and when if I announce your name, you can come forward. I believe Ms. Rouse, is Mr. Clemview Hodge still here? No? Oh, Mr. Hodge and Mrs. Carty. If you can take the stage, please. Feels like we need a little bit of background music, Mr. Gilbert. All right, so we're going to start, first of all, with the team that has captured the best idea to execute. The team that has captured the best idea that Anguilla should execute. And the winner of that award, who will win Fitbit watches, trip and lunch to Prickly Pear, and a lunch with the Honorable Minister of Education, who would like to talk to you more about this idea, is the Clovers. Please give them a hand. All right. And these are 6A students. I taught 3 of them. We're thankful. Nobody taking pictures? Sorry? 1 each, yes, please. Thank you. Now, I know for the last 3 years we have given the actual prize to students, but because we do not know exactly which team is going to win which award, and some teams have 3, 4, 5, we found it more financially prudent to wait until we know for sure, and they will get their prizes ASAP, so in their hands they have vouchers for Fitbit watches. Can you please, again, give them a very big hand? The next one is the best presentation of idea. And this was from online voting. All right, Deep End Innovators was voted best presentation of idea. And we have a mixture of 6A and 1 fourth farmer. Sorry. They want to be on the end.
Y'all can book me.
Deep End Innovators. Beyond Extraordinary. The award, I apologize, Best Presentation of Idea, they will win Bluetooth speakers and lunch at Silly Key. Number 3, Beyond Extraordinary Idea goes to, oh, you did that? No. Okay, so we got these 3. Oh, that one, yes. Okay. So now we move, to number 1, first prize. Sorry? Our first prize no. One moment, please. Oops. Trying to find my notes. Mrs. Carbon has to just do a final tally so we can get first, second, and third. Okay, in the meantime, I will let you know that our sports week, our sports term is at hand. We have heats that is in full swing. I do not have the current scores, but I can give you the scores from, well, I thought I could. I know that Purple House was in front. That I know. I know that Pink House was in second. All the time. Pink is power. Can't find my paper. And then, oh, yeah, it's her house. Maroon House is in third. And this is of yesterday, please. So if you know better, then you can bring me the scores. Tied in fourth or fifth place, whichever one you want to call it, is orange and yellow. Third place, coming in third, we have the Clovers. Please give them a hand. Third place wins funds to pay back their CXC, that is whether CAPE or CSEC, fees that they paid for this current year's registration. So they will be given back the money that they used to pay for their exams. Second place. Second place goes to Deep End Innovators. Second place receives tablets. We're thankful again to the AYBF. They are the sole sponsors of these technological gadgets. And coming in first, and first place receives Chromebook laptops. We have Fame. Please give them a hand. Ample time to start raining. We are thankful for all the students, and again, for any team that has not won any awards, we do have an A for you for your report card put together with other assessments. We also do have a Calypso ride for you to Sandy Island. So we want to say thank you very much. Can you please give everybody a hand? It's a little bit raining outside, so grab some fish soup and something else as Mr. Romney closes us out in prayer. It's important that we pray. And if you need to see the models a little bit close up, you're welcome to do so. Please, Mr. Romney. Students, please don't leave. We have certificates for you.
Let me me again say a hearty congratulations to everyone and thank you. I know it's late into the evening, so if we can stand together, we'll close in a word of prayer.
Mrs. Carbon? If somebody can get Mrs. Carbon for me, that'll be great. Thank you.
All right, let us pray. Heavenly Eternal Father, God, we want to thank you for this evening. We want to thank you for our young people. God, we want to thank you for the inspiration, God, the knowledge, the wisdom that you impart to each and every one of them. We want to thank you, God, for the boldness that allowed them to present in the manner in which they did. You remind us every day, God, that children are our heritage. We pray, God, that as those who are responsible for them, that we'll be forever faithful in our task and that they will represent the best of us. Continue to look over them, continue to protect them. Heavenly Father God, we thank you for the Albina Lake Arch Comprehensive School, 70 years of secondary education in Anguilla. Through much hard times, very difficult periods, periods of triumph, periods of joy, you've brought us thus far. We are forever grateful, God, for your faithfulness. And as we now depart to our respective homes, we pray for we pray for your mercies as we journey one from another. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
And why you want to go between the two girls? All right.